Welcome to the countdown. While you wait for the show to begin, try to relax, grab a drink, sit down, and just enjoy the music.
Yeah. Ooh, whoa.
Don't Christina it out.
Okay. Diamond drills, high pressure on. Black gold show suits you. Bump it for me, yeah. You frack it well. Rigs work non-stop all day long. Filling barrels with crude oil. Sell them for me, yeah. You frack it well.
She looks metallic.
Though I can't quite recall overnight sensation.
And we are live. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the last episode of The Chop for this season 13 finale. My God, this season was a little bit too long. It's the 4th month. 4 months and 17 episodes later, we are finally here. We survived. So a huge round of applause for everybody who survived this fucked up season. Now with me, we have our special guest, Mr. Invisible, which might or might not really be here. I might be using a voice distortion to simulate his voice. Nobody knows. It might be all in my mind. So, Mr. Invisible, hello.
Hello.
What did you say?
Hello.
Then welcome. So, did you enjoy this finale? Was it everything you wished for?
Of course it was. Everything I dreamed for.
It was incredible, wasn't it? And so entertaining.
Yes.
Did you have your bubbly bound sparkling water while watching? No? Then you're not doing drag, I'm sorry. So, let's greet everyone in the chat. Where are you going? Are you leaving already?
Yes, I am.
But Mrs. G just said hi, Mr. Invisible.
Hello.
Okay, he says hello. Amateur season as well. Come on, they want you. They want you more than they want Gottmik. You're famous.
No, I'm not.
So let's greet everybody in the chat. Let's say bye-bye to Mr. Invisible. He's going to bed. He's working early tomorrow morning. Well, I'll be sleeping, so I'll be here with you. He's going to bed. Good night. So let's quickly greet everybody in the chat. As usual, my relatable people, a shout out to all of you. Phoenix Rising, Just Your Average RPDR Fan, Sasha, Beverly, Registered Human, which is a registered human, not an automaton. Karina, Robin Baron, Lady Baconator, Jessica S, Law for AHYS, Luna, Norveg, Felicia, Daniel Harris, Zusia, Steph Gray, Beatrice, Jessica S, Groover, Mrs. G, C, Amateur Season, Lemon, Antonina, and of course, how can we forget the president of Discord, Fantasia, is here. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks to the old subscribers, and if you're a new subscribers that came in the recent batch of 200 subscribers, then say it and I will give you a shout out and a welcome. So, let's review this last episode. My God, as usual, comments at top RPDR videos, so it will be highlighted for me. We'll do the review, and after we have our kiki time, our shady time, where we talk about wherever, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's our time, but after the show. So, finally, This season is finally over. Now, I give you a challenge. And you will get a prize if you win. Well, it's not really a prize, but you will get something special. Something special will appear on screen. So I dare you to describe this season using only one word. And you know which word I really mean. If you've been following, you know which word I mean. So please let it coming. I'm curious. I want to know. And while I wait for the comments to come in and my voice to actually reach you, because there's always a time lag between the time I speak and the time everything comes to you, I will get a little bit of liquid energy. Sponsored by, of course, no, not sponsored because we don't get really paid for it. From Little, you know, the cheap energy drink that will keep you awake enough to have a full live stream about it. So, let's go to the comment. We have rigged, delusion, gagatondra, painful, relatable, a drag, overproduced, rigged, no, we are not there yet. Underwhelming, boring, rigomoris, delusional. I love that, Jules, but it's not really there. Predictable, shock valued, candid. Oh my god, Little came through. No, Little didn't came through. We don't have a sponsor yet. Come on. Train wreck. Shock value, drama, produced. Phoenix Rising, the winner! The winner is Phoenix Rising. This season was a complete bullshit. And who can say it better than the former artist known as Fifi O'Hara?
Bullshit.
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 That's bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
That's
bullshit
a joke.
every fucking time.
I was being realistic.
Realistic with bullshit? Girl, bullshit. You are a fucking liar.
That was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit. Welcome to the worst season ever. A season that will not only be remembered as the longest season of RuPaul's Drag Race, but also as the one who managed to take the crown from season 11 to be the worst season ever in the history of RuPaul's Drag Race. And the culprits are many, from an awful casting. It's not on the queens, but they had no chemistry with each other whatsoever. Just compare it to season 12. It was just last year. Even though it feels like 15 years ago, it was just last year's. There was no chemistry whatsoever. The queens were painfully aware of the edit from the beginning of episode 1, and they continued for all the 17 episodes by walking on eggshells and making it all about sisterhood, while we know that probably in the background most of them were throwing rocks at each other. Best case scenario. Of course, 17 episodes, 7 of which is 40%. 40%. Think about the number. 40%. There was no elimination whatsoever. But this is a competition show. So, of course, the point is not eliminating everybody. Of course, how can we forget the bad production choices? And that pork chop lounge, that only exacerbating the bad casting choices that were done in the first place by creating a split group and cliques that never really meshed with each other. Of course, we have our poorly developed challenge, poorly developed music, over-intrusive product placement. Never forget Stuart Beaver and his fucking ugly-ass purse that was the theme of a runway. Talking about intrusive advertisement. And of course, all the mini advertisement that replaced the mini challenge that we once used to have. That of course had so much impact on the main challenge and on the competition overall. The elimination throughout the season made absolutely no sense. The most talented queens somehow managed to went home early and never reached the top 4. Never forget Denali. And of course, a confirmation that the runway don't really count unless it's convenient to the storyline. The lip sync don't count unless it's convenient to the storylines. There was so much manipulations by the producers that it bleed into the confessionals. Never forget Rosé and Camorra Hall that refilmed their confessionals after the season was over. We had temporal intrusion from the same Rosé talking about the episode, the current episode, in 10 different episodes. How could she be aware so much if she didn't film after the whole season was done? It was a mess. But of course, the worst sin of all was putting Candy Muse front and center. No shade to Candy, because you have to understand one thing. Despite her shortcoming, she still managed to get to the top 2. If anything, she sent a message that if you're determined enough, and in a way, even delusional enough, you can make it. Because in life, talent helps, yes it helps, but determination is what will really push you over your boundaries. So let's never forget that lesson, but let's also be real about it, because she's a young drag queen with a lot of space for development. There's very little talented, questionable charisma, and the whole storyline was transparent as polished glass. It was such a huge mistake to put Candy front and center of the season, when we could have had, think of other queens like Denali, for example, Tamisha, even Utica. And I know it's going to be controversial, but you know my thoughts about Utica. So it was a huge mistake. This whole season was a complete mess, with the most lackluster top 4 in history. And again, I mean no shade. Congratulations to all of them, because despite all the critiques that I'm going to mention, they managed to really make a spot for them in the top 4, and of course getting all the exposure that they need to do drag as a full-time job. Never forget that. But we have Gottmik, a queen that's coming from a clearly privileged background with great makeup skills, but not much else. We have no singing abilities, no dancing, no acting. Pretty sure she bought all of her outfits for somebody else. A tiny bit of comedy, but it basically ends there. Then we have Candy, a walking personality, or so we are told, with poor makeup skills, an awful wardrobe, one-note acting, no singing, no dancing, and she's supposed to be funny, but in a way she managed to make me laugh for all the wrong reasons. And then we have Rosé, the most well-rounded queen of this season, of the top 4, but in spite of that, she pales in comparison even to half of the cast of season 12. Think about it for a moment. And finally, we have our winner, Simone. So congratulations on Simone for winning. She was, out of the 4 of them, one of the best choices if you ask me, but you also have to understand that she basically won her crown solely on an incredible catwalk and the bag full of dreams. So if you take out the outfits, which scream House of Avalon, and the one-note acting, the bad dancing, no comedy, no singing, we are left with very little. So in my fantasy, Jada Essence Hall is going to be reigning for a second year, and she deserves it. And she deserves it. Now let's go to the chat because I lost a ton of comments. Sorry. Let me give a moment to scroll. Felicia, Tamisha's video has the most views. She is making the coins for World of Wonder. Oh yes, oh yes. And thank you for sending me that email, because she's not being the only one who tried to upload her video, and of course it got blocked because somebody else has to make their coins. The last victim was Kamora Hall. Mino says it wasn't that bad. Jada at the crowning, I don't know, maybe it was bad. TikTok meltdown. Now that the season is over, which is your favorite queen? Jada Essence Hall, of course. Grover Horna, Mick got asked if there was a person in the cast who he didn't get along with, and Mick said yes. I'll give it to Mick. Phoenix, I will never forgive them for mistreating Tamisha, Denali, and Utica. Preach. Preach. Preach to the gods. Felicia, on Nikki Tutorials, Gottmik would not name the person she didn't like, but said there was someone she didn't like. Of course. Mino, didn't they have many one of the best looks in Drag Race history? Oh yes. Oh yes. In a way, they're not completely wrong. But let's also talk about one of the most expensive seasons in RuPaul's Drag Race history. Then we have Groover. Gottmik said Candy is one of the best makeup artists in the cast. She has a degree in Yeah, I know a lot of people who managed to have a degree. But I don't care if you have a degree, and I don't care if you come from a background where you couldn't afford to pay to be taught. I care about the final product, and the final product was underwhelming for me. Now, we also have to talk about the fact that making someone else's makeup and making your own are two very different things. And when she was tasked to make somebody else's makeup, it was not that bad, to be honest. It was not that bad. But to me, she herself looked busted all of the time. And I mean no shade, really. I mean no shade. You know my feelings for Candy Muse. But we also have to be honest. Phoenix, Utica was the true fashion queen of the season. I said what I said. Of course. It's a quintessential ability of a drag queen to be able to make your own outfits. That's the drag 101. If you can't make your outfit, well, you have to have a great personality, like Bianca Del Rio level personality. Lemon, I feel like Candy's looks for the black, white, and red theme were better than almost all of her looks on this season. Maybe she had more money and more time to prepare. Jules, the person Mick didn't like, Tamisha most likely, the nerve. We will never know, but in the end, it's vague booking, so who the hell cares about vague booking? So, before we begin with the review, first of all, let's never forget that we were served a reunion, if you dare call that thing a reunion, which was nothing more than a clip show, more expenses for the drag queens, who probably had to produce all of those music videos, and of course, you know, no coins for you. Reading fake questions that nobody was really interested in because the real questions were on a total different level. And honestly, I prefer the season 12 reunion. At least we got to see the queen interact. That is the point of a reunion. If you remember, we didn't used to have this reunion anymore. It stopped in season 3. Because in season 4 they started doing this live finale, so we didn't have a proper reunion anymore. They brought it back only recently, and the reunion is lightning in the bottle. Because all of the queens interact, they talk about the things we want them to talk, we are interested in listening, and if you take that away, then what you're left with is just filler. It's just filler. So I don't know. Give it to Gottmik. She needs a little bit. Phoenix, the fact that Gottmik stands saying she got robbed in this season, delusion on the runway. Oh, there's been so much delusion in this season. It's endearing in a way. It's endearing. You know, it's never about what happens. It's always about the prospect on which you look at it. I prefer to laugh about it because if you start getting aggravated, you will really lose your mind. So let's just laugh about it. Let's laugh about it. Let's talk about it. And let's never stop talking about that damn contract and all of the people who come here or everywhere else saying, oh yes, but they signed the contract so they knew what was coming. That's just half of the picture. The other half is that contract is complete bullshit. And we shouldn't stand by it just because they put their signature in it. Those kind of contracts should be illegal. Point blank. And there is nothing else to say about it. There is nothing else to say about it. Those kind of contracts are unacceptable and, as far as I know, illegal where I live. So let's push for a little bit of a change, because as you know, change always comes where you least expect it. So if it has to come from a drag show, then let it come from a drag show. These contracts in Hollywood are unacceptable and they have to stop. Point blank. Now, moving on to the final review, a couple of more comments. We have Jules says at the signs for Gottmik, lol, at the signs for Gottmik in the finale. And Phoenix, the lip sync in the finale were so dead they should have checked for signs of life. Oh my god, you guys are so shady tonight. Coffee, welcome. Okay, so it's the finale. Yay! you excited? Yes, I'm excited. And we start with a little bit of a promotion for another song of RuPaul. Another song that RuPaul is interpreting for us on the main stage. And we get a great impression of Ru dancing on the main stage. Now, if I wanted to see a vroom moving on the main stage, then I would have definitely sipped every little second of this show. But, you know, Ru giving her best impression of a vroom on stage is not really my cup of tea. So we start with this, and already it's going downhill. And I know it's going downhill, but I cannot stop watching. Because after this, lo and below, our queens are asked to spend even more money. If they didn't spend enough preparing the outfits for the whole season, preparing the outfits for advertising for Drag Race, now they have to make even more expensive outfits for the finale. And it's not just the 3 outfits that we were shown in this finale ball. There were 3 more outfits, 2 more outfits to... three more outfits that they had to prepare as well. They had an AIDS-inspired... AIDS-inspired? No. My God, that sounds so bad. They had an AIDS awareness-inspired performance. They had the dress for that. And they had the 2 lip-sync dresses. So they had to prepare 6 more outfits from the show to add up to a grand total of $5,000 to $15,000 for participating in the finale. Yeah, you know, who gives a shit? It's their money. Let's milk them for everything we have. Oh, good God. So, a couple of more comments, then we go to this damn look. Coffee, I keep wanting to plug you in the comments of Tamisha's arrogant video, but I'm scared Big Sister will come to shut this down. Steph Gray, Ru did an impression of that grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, she did. I mean, RuPaul, come on, I get it. You want to be on stage and whatever it is, but thank God she wasn't lip-syncing against anyone, because she would have probably gone home. So, let's go to this ball, shall we? We have the black and white theme, where we have Gottmik as Pinhead. It was a great reference, a great look. I liked it. I loved it. It was expensive, but, you know, she can afford it. Candy Muse looking the best she ever looked in the entire season. I loved everything about this outfit, and this is something that you never really heard from me. But I really loved her outfits. It's once in a lifetime. Then we have Rosé looking beautiful and heavy as usual, and this is not a remark on her weight. It's a remark on the flow of her dress. The dress is busy. Busy, busy, busy. And Simone, and I have no words for describing how incredible she actually looks. The only point that I have is that the dress again screams House of Avalon, but it's beautiful. It's possibly the most beautiful outfit in the entire season. I have nothing to say to Simone. Then we have the red all over runway with Gottmik, a great message and a bad dress overall. Candy reminding us the reason why she is in the top. I mean, look how she looked. And Rosé looking absolutely incredible, and Simone telling us that she ran out of money. Then after this, it's time for the finale, Eleganza Extravaganza, where we have Gottmik looking incredibly inspired by another creator on Instagram who later got to get acknowledged for creating the sketch for this outfit. Candy with Nicette, Rosé looking opulently shapeless, and a fantastic concept for Simone. Probably the best dress in this category. Not the best dress of the season, but definitely the best in this whole category. Lady Baconator, RuPaul, in a world full of exploitation, and I will continue, Never stop exploiting. RuPaul looks like a Ferengi from Star Trek, you know, where they have all these rules of acquisition, and one is treat your customers as you would treat family members. Exploit them. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. After this, finally we get to the real first high of this episode. We had some, but this is the very first, with Jada Essence Hall, our reigning queen, outside with the audience in a drive-in sponsored by Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water. Lest we forget about Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water. Did I say Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water? Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water. And Jada is not on stage. Of course, that is a crime against humanity. She is outside giving PR for Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water. So there is that. Nevertheless, it was nice to see her. Finally, it was nice to see her. She should have been on that stage. RuPaul should have been outside. And you know that everybody would have loved the format. Jules, Simone looked stunning. It was an homage to Michael Jackson and Beyonce. Yes, and speaking of Michael Jackson, look at RuPaul's nose, because that's almost copyright infringement. After this, we are greeted to another clip show of the queens. If we didn't have enough clip shows in episode 14, if we didn't have enough clip show in episode 15, the reunion, then we have another bit of clip show in this segment with all of the queens. So the queens have a chance to rehash their storylines, they get message from their families, yada yada. Nothing interesting really happens here. We have Gottmik talking about painting Paris Hilton at age, 18, 19, talking about privilege. Candy with another push for her redemption edit. Rose and Ru trying to seemingly out fake laugh each other's. And Simone getting a message from Rihanna, which feels correct. Chat, me know something. Rose's ankle. Oh my god. Oh yes. But she wasn't going to win anyway. At all. Come on. Do you remember the episode 14, the top 4, when they gave loving critiques and messages to everybody, and then they went to Rose and say, yeah, you're good. You're professional, you're good. That's it. That's nice. That's as good as it gets. And if you think this is the low of this episode, no. Because we are greeted to the most cringeworthy performance ever. In what is supposed to be a segment celebrating all of the people that died from the AIDS pandemic, we are greeted to this thing. Then I can tell you, my partner left the room. I was looking like, oh God, please make it stop, please. It was terrible. It was treacherous. It was embarrassing. I mean, if you want, you are not forced to. But if you want to do to spread a little bit of awareness about what AIDS is, how the pandemic started, all the people that we lost, and that we will continue to lose because of that, then you don't do it like that. Fuck this bullshit. Spend 5 minutes explaining what this immune disease is. How it started, how nobody understood what you were dying for, because people were dying for many different reasons. It's an illness that destroys your immune system, which means somebody will die from an infection to his liver, somebody else from a skin infection, somebody else from a pulmonary infection. Nobody knew what the fuck it was. It was called the gay cancer, because it spread so rapidly in the gay community. What is this shit? Spend 5 minutes talking about things you lived through, because RuPaul lived through that. So preach, but don't serve me this bullshit. Which reminds me, there is an incredible documentary, which I think it's also available online, called We Were Here. Please watch it. Please don't forget what happened, and please don't forget that we lose almost 1 million people every year to this still ongoing pandemic. Now, with that said, let's move on to the second high of the season, a celebrating segment for Chi-Chi DeVayne. Finally, this was so nice. It was done the right way. All the queens who knew her had a chance to speak about her and put in a nice word. And I don't want to ruin this segment by talking about how World of Wonder fucked her over for All Stars. We know all of that story. Let's just take a moment, remember, never forget, and also remember that last year we also lost Lady Red. So if you like this queen, if you love them, support them now. You never know when you won't get a chance to see one of them anymore. So this was the only thing done right in this finale. Nothing else. And after this, we move to the lip sync for the crown. I need a moment. I need a transition. 1 second, I'm here. Okay, so after this, we finally move. It's half an hour in. We finally move to the lip sync for the crown. And something happens. Did anybody notice what happened in here that sound fishy and suspicious at best? I'm taking in comments. Come on, don't be ashamed. This is not a fake live, so I am reading your comments. Not like some queens that go on live and then they read the comments like, oh my god, you guys are so wild in the chat. And I'm like, yes. Yes. Thank you, Fantasia, for the tip. It was gaggy when I realized it. Groover, apparently Rosé fainted before a lip sync, according to some sources on Reddit. We might never know, but I heard that rumor as well. Minnow, the wheel not stopping at Simone. Phoenix, I used game theory and predicted the lip sync and their outcomes. Lemon, the queens didn't pick their opponent. Yes, Lemon, you got it. They didn't get to pick their opponent. Usually, let's forget for a moment that wheel is probably rigged as fuck. And that would explain why they had to spin it twice and not let somebody else somebody else decide, in this case Candy, have her decide who she wanted to lip sync against, as it was always being done in the finale. So yes, they spin the wheel twice, and in the end, we are greeted with Candy lip syncing against Rosé and Gottmik versus Simone. Now, let me tell you, before we started watching this episode, we put down who we thought were going to lip sync against, and we got this pairing, but we totally botched the outcome because I was sure Candy was going to win against Rosé. There was no contest there. Rosé was going to go home, not even given a chance. But I never saw Gottmik winning against Simone. As you know, since we did the pre-show back in December, I told you Gottmik is going to be the winner. I'm happy that she didn't win. I'm happy that she didn't win. Simone definitely deserved it the most out of all of them. But still. Caio Kamada, welcome back. According to Twitter, Rosé died before going on stage, and that's why she lost. Poor Rosé. Poor Rosé. They treated her so badly. But let me tell you why I was so sure that Rosé didn't stand a chance. In spite of the fainting rumor, in spite of her saying she sprayed her ankle, which, need I remind you, those kind of injuries take literally anywhere to 18 to 24 months to stop hurting you. You don't have anything broken. It's just that your ligaments are a bitch to heal. It takes that long. Happened to me as well. So I can confirm to you, it doesn't matter if it happened 8 months ago. The pain is still there. The pain is absolutely still there. So, what was I saying? Oh, Latif Nick says no storyline. No. Because we started the chop by saying that they probably wanted Rosé to be a villain. They did everything in their power until episode 7 or episode 8 to try to push the villain edit, to try to trigger her. It never worked until finally they were forced, allegedly, to change the direction of the season. And that doesn't really sit well. If I was a producer for this show, it wouldn't really sit well with me, because your job is to shut the fuck up, do as I say, and make everything that happens look as if it's real, because you don't have to look as if I am pulling all the strings behind the scenes. That it's not a good look for a show that sells itself as an accurate depiction of reality. With that said, let's go to the lip sync. We have Candy Muse against Rosé. Now, oh good God, I don't know what to say about this lip sync. For me, it could very well be a double sachet. I mean, I'm sorry if Rosé couldn't properly move, but we are still in the fantasy that this is a competition, and both of them were absolutely underwhelming. So for me, this was a double sachet. And let me tell you something, if they indeed eliminated both of them, that would have been a gag. That would have been great television. But no, of course, World of Wonder had other plans for us. So Candy wins, and she reaches the top 2, where she will lip sync against the winner between Simone and Gottmik. Phoenix Rising, I guess losing isn't the new winning. Favoritism it is. Oh yes, it is. Latif Nick says the winner is Mercedes Iman Diamond. Never forget that the choice of this song, great that you reminded me, was Work Bitch by Britney Spears. And when you perform like that, and you had to top Mercedes Iman, that was only 2 seasons ago, well, you have to fucking deliver. And none of them delivered. So please, go home, both of you. We're going to have one lip sync less, and it's going to be directly a lip sync for the crown, as it should be. As it should be. So after this, we jump to Gottmik versus Simone, and my God, it was good. We have incredible reveals. The lip sync is tight as a virgin asshole. Both had incredible stage presence, and incredibly, it looks like Gottmik got lip sync lessons, because she absolutely killed it. I've been telling you since that first episode, Gottmik cannot lip sync for shit. Well, she dialed it up to 100. She fucking delivered everything. We should have had, only because of this, we should have had a double fucking crowning. They have the money. If you can afford, allegedly, to pay RuPaul $100,000 plus per episode, then you can afford 2 fucking crowning. And that would have been a gag. That would have been more great television. But of course, we cannot have good television. Nobody knows why. Oh my God. But this lip sync was really the highlight of the whole season. This was the highlight of the whole season. Both of them performed great. No shade to Denali. No shade to Denali. Because she is, in my opinion, the best lip syncer of this whole season. But if we're talking about lip syncs by 2 contestants, these are the 2 who delivered 100% during their respective performances. So this lip sync was great. Unfortunately, it ends up there. It really ends up there, because next we're going to have Candy Muse versus Simone to lip sync for the damn crown. But before that happens, let's go to the last high of the season, where we finally get to see the queens from season 13 that were not invited to the show. And I was like, what the fuck? Couldn't you fly them? Couldn't you fly them there and have them live? What is this? Of course, they had to make one more outfit, because of course, who gives a shit about their money, blah, blah, blah. It's their thing. But, well, this is what we have. This is what we have. Then, of course, finally, we get to see a little bit more of ID for the Miss Congeniality Award, which deservingly, and I said what I fucking said, goes to Lala Ree. And a little bit more of Jada Essence Hall. We never have enough Jada Essence Hall. There is never enough Jada. More Jada. Bring Jada fucking back. Ever present a fucking show. She is one of the best winner in ages. She has it all. She is beautiful. She has an incredible personality. She is allergic to fucking fakeness, which is a pandemic among queens in the recent years. All of them. Overproduced. Overthinking. All about sisterhood. Fuck that. Give me a little bit of dose of reality. Give me the essence of beauty. Give me Jada Essence Hall. We never have enough Jada. More fucking Jada. And that's all. That's all I'm going to say for that. It was a crime that she didn't present this episode, because you know it would have been 1000% better. Imagine if she sat there and interviewed the queens, and while they were rehashing their storyline, you know she would have stopped them and said, yes, but let's cut to the bullshit. What did you learn from this? Quickly. We were robbed of a year of reigning that would have been incredible. So no shade to Simone. No shade to Simone. But to me, Jada is one of those queens who is going to reign for a couple of years. Jessica S. I heard that the most of the queens didn't want to travel for the finale because of having to quarantine before and probably even after, so they would miss. Oh, that would explain it. That would explain it. But, you know, at least they could have had a little bit more segment with them. They basically disappeared. They appeared for what, like 5 seconds? We had 40 minutes of filler, 10 minutes of lip sync, and 5 minutes of Jada Essence Hall. That doesn't sit right with me. There is something wrong. There is something fucking wrong with that. Jules, Jada should have presented the episode with the real interview. Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, you have right there. You have one of the best winners in years. No shade to everyone. No shade to everyone. But she had an incredible personality. She is beautiful. She has talent. She has it fucking all. She's Jada Essence Hall. We want more. How can you not fucking get it that you're sitting on a gold mine and you're not using it? It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I don't know what else to say. You know, I've been talking about Jada Essence Hall since we started this show last year. There is never enough. The Jada Essence Hall. Give me more. She should have lip-synced to a modified version of Give Me More by Britney Spears. Singing Give Me More Jada. So, it's the final lip sync. The lip sync for the crown. And we have Candy Muse versus Simone. Now, you know what I think about Candy's lip sync. It was what it was. Simone absolutely killed it. Talking about killing it with simplicity. You don't need expensive gags. You don't need expensive reveals. Bring that fucking energy and give me this tiny bit of eye candy. That is enough. That is enough for everyone. We don't need a Sasha Velour every fucking finale for the crown. Never forget the train wreck that was Asia's performance back in the time. So Simone absolutely killed it. There is no contest. She won this lip sync. She won fair and square. So I will not accept anything about anyone. She won. Although it would have been gaggy. It would have been gaggy if Candy was crowned. Because you know what I think about it. A messy season deserves a messy winner. So by this point, I was in front of my screen. Screaming, Candy, 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 come on, do it, don't be afraid. Candy. For the lols, you know. Oh my god. Jules, a cheap-ass flag to represent your heritage, Candy lose. Oh, Jules, you're shady. You're so shady. Phoenix, come on, Candy Muse, Team Candy. I was Team Candy. It would have been, we were robbed of an incredible moment. You would have seen people getting an aneurysm live while watching this fucking show. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I want you to think. Sorry, I want you to think about one simple fact. Candy Muse lip synced a whopping 7 times this season, and she won 6 times, making her the best lip syncer in the history of the show and granting her the title of the best lip sync assassin ever. Think about that for a fucking moment. Compared to Jujubee, she towers everyone. She is the best lip sync assassin we've ever had. Isn't that mind-blowing? Think about that. Think about that for a moment. Let it sink in. Let's have a little bit of liquid energy. Oh, I finished my liquid energy. Well, I'll get some during the pause. But think about that. It's fucking incredible, isn't it? Blake. No, not Blake. Blazing Bard. The fact that out of the house of Aja, Candy made it to the top 4, the level of disrespect. I agree. No apologies. I agree. Latif Nick. Simone also lip synced 7 times and won them all. Did she? Because I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me get my browser here real quick. We can check it. Because I counted all of Candy's lip sync, but I didn't count all of Simone's lip sync. So Simone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait a moment. Wait a moment. Stop there for a moment. You are right. She won episode 1. Then she won episode 2. Then she won the double Shantae in episode 8. Then she won in episode 12. Then she won in episode 14. Then she lip synced the first time and lip synced the second time. She lip synced 7 times and won 7 times. Oh my god, thank God. Thank God. Simone is the best lip sync assassins ever. The runner-up is Candy Muse. With 7 wins. 6 wins out of 7. Oh my god. Oh yes. Yes. Where are we? So, after this, Simone gets crowned, and thank God, at least she was crowned. Although I would have been gagged if Candy won, it's still better than, Simone actually got those coins. Although I still believe that Candy probably could have used the coins a little bit more, because they're all in debt. But while Simone has a huge family behind her back who helped her probably with a ton of outfits, who kind of loaned her a lot of stuff, I don't think Candy had much support coming to Drag Race. So she probably could have used the money a little bit more than Simone. But, it is how it is. Let's just be glad that this season is over. It's over until a certain point, because I still have 4 episodes of The Chop to publish. So it's over for you. It's not really over for me yet. You can gag a little bit when the episodes come out, but I still have to work on this damn season. Me know something. The real winner is the baby oil Simone uses on her skin. The real winner is the hard-on everybody got when Simone was on the round. Virginie Frida. Oh, message retracted. Okay, so I don't know what you said. Now, it's midnight, relatable people, which means our review is over. We are going to have our usual pause, and after that, our own kiki time, our own shady time. So prepare it, bring it, and let's talk about whatever. So let's shake it up and see you back in 5 minutes.
Shake it up. I don't need you to lie. I don't need you to flatter. And your good intentions, they don't really matter. I don't need you to hold me tight or to make it alright. I just need you to shake it, alright, and shake it all night. Shake it up when things start to settle down. Shake it up like it's a snow globe town. The city's like a bottle of sparkling wine. Before I blow it open, let's take some time. Shake it up. Shake it up. You don't need to be chill. I don't ever play it cool. You don't need the right skills. Don't need the right tools. You just need the guts to seize it. To seize it in the middle. You don't exactly know it, but you know it needs a little breaking up. Shake it up. Shake it up. When things start to settle down. Shake it up like it's a snow globe town. The city's like a bottle of sparkling wine. Before I blow it open, let's take some time. Shake it up. Shake it up. These are cynical times. We had to endure so many clinical lines, so little actual cures. When getting money's our religion and love is a need, we sit and watch while our country bleeds. I'm gonna stop trying to get off the hook, and I really don't care if everybody looks. Shake it up. Let me tell you, baby steps won't work. Shake it up. Shake it up. Okay, it just might hurt. The city's like a bottle of sparkling wine. Before I blow it open, let's take some time. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it
And we're back. There we go. A little bit of liquid energy. It always helps. It is so good. There we go. Dixie, the Down Under Girls looks very promising. Did you watch Vilma's review? I haven't watched anything about Down Under yet. But let's really hope it will be similar to what happened in Drag Race UK. But as you know, most of that really depends on the laws. that were applied in the state where this was actually filmed. Because as you know, one of the BBC rules was that it was forbidden to actually portray the Queen in a misleading way. So what you said in episode 8 cannot be used to refer to somebody else in episode 2, which, as we know, really helps the Queen give some confidence that whatever happens, they will never be thrown under the bus, as it happens to so many other queens on this show. It all started with Fifi O'Hara, Roxy Andrews, Silky Ganache, Bibi, Alaska, and so many others over the years. It's almost impossible to count all of these people who had words taken out of context to shade somebody else or to push somebody else's edit. Let's never forget that. Imagine complimenting someone, laughing at someone's joke, and then realize that your laugh was used to refer to somebody else, kind of like it happened to Denali, didn't it? Because Denali has been spilling a lot of tea behind the scenes. Which is incredible that nobody sent her a cease and desist. She was very inconspicuous about it, you know. She was like, I don't remember laughing at a specific joke of someone. she was like this, you know. So let's hope that they have good rules in place wherever they're filming, because that's really what's going to make the difference. That's, you know, we can talk about all we want about the fact that it's RuPaul's Drag Race, we have RuPaul's song, yada yada, and whatever it is. But if this season taught us anything, is that bad production choices, bad casting, and ultimately queens walking on eggshells do not make for good television. It doesn't matter if RuPaul is there. You can have Drag Race without RuPaul. Look at Drag Race Thailand, for example. The point is the talent of the queens. That's the whole point. Without the queens, you don't have Drag Race. But without RuPaul, you still can have Drag Race. So whatever helps them deliver their personality, their talent, it's going to make for a great show. So let's hope that at least that will happen. And with that said, I still believe that not having Courtney act as one of the judges in that show is really a crime. But you know, Ru doesn't like Courtney. Courtney spoke a little bit too much, and you know how Courtney is. She is always so polite. She manages to make or point across in a very human way all of the time. You know, she just said, well, in show business, there is always a difference between the person and the personality, the public personality. That's what she said. Banned. No more Courtney act anywhere. Jules, Tina Burner being edited to push Candy Muse. I think she also self-produced herself a little bit because Tina is not stupid and everybody saw what was happening to Candy. They all knew the kind of edit that she was going to have. These queens are not stupid, and when you put a mortgage on your house to, you know, to come into this show, if you have to go with the edit, you go with the edit. That's it ends up there. Jade, I'm worried because Drag Race culture in Australia can come across as very mean-spirited, as having a thick skin is valued in Australia. I hope Americans that watch it, that they are not too sensitive. I think it will bring a breath of fresh air, because that's the kind of drag I knew since I was very young. That's the drag that I know. It's, you know, it's all about being shady. It's all about putting on a show. It's all about having a great entertaining personality. That's drag. Drag is provocative. It always has been. So, you know, we have this fluffy images of drag queens because of Drag Race, but drag culture worldwide is a lot different. I mean, look at the queens from UK. Look at the early queens from Drag Race before it became Drag Race. You know, that's 101, Drag Queen 101. Registered Human says, did you see they officially announced All-Star 6? I didn't see it. Did they announce the cast? That's the thing that I'm really excited about. If they announce the cast, and please, let's not have another relatable moment in All Stars. we had enough last season. Phoenix, if season 14 is worse than this, then we'll only watch the show through top. No, I hope they will learn. This season was a train wreck from so many different levels, and so many people are finally starting to talk about it. This season, for the first time, we had so many videos and so many creators here on YouTube being vocal about the bullshit that it's destroying the best queer entertainment that we ever had on mainstream. So I think if they want to keep earning their money, this bullshit will have to be tuned down. I don't think it will happen during All Star 6 because this was filmed immediately last summer, immediately after season 13. But we have, I have a feeling that the quality of the show is going to go up again, starting from fucking casting. Because you need to have a good bunch of queens. They have to mesh well together. You need to have diversity. You need to have some good challenges thrown up in there. And you need to have a format that doesn't necessarily try to pit each and every one of them against each other because, you need drama. Just go with the flow. Drama will come. You don't need to manufacture it. You don't need to push it. You don't need to try to trigger them all of the time. It's a competition. These people spend huge amounts of money to come in there. They are segregated in their room. They cannot get out. They are under stress. They film 12, 15 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. Drama will come. It's inevitable. It's an inevitability. Drama will come. Just don't force it. And it will make for a good show. Don't be shady during editing. And queens will stop self-producing themselves so much. It is that simple. Drag Race used to really capture lightning in a bottle in the early season, but since they moved to VH1, everything changed. It has become a fluffy business, and guess what? This kind of queer entertainment can be a fluffy business until a certain point. After that, people will start to tune out. That's as simple as that. Jules, Laguna and Venus Envy, Rosie Thorne for season 14 top 3. Is that a spoiler? No spoilers, please, Jules. I don't know if that is a wish, whatever it is. Let's not talk about things we don't know yet. Daniel Harris, I saw someone post an ad from Paramount Plus, and I think I think they might move it as early as All-Star 6. That, of course, is yes, I can see that coming. I speculated that before, here on Livestream, that if they move Drag Race, apart from the older seasons, but if they move new seasons of Drag Race to push Paramount Plus, it's going to be All-Stars, not the regular season. They don't forget that Drag Race is still a big cow to be milked on VH1. So they are going to milk that advertisement money, which, don't forget, advertisements is 40% of the show when it airs on VH1. Seriously, it is so much advertisement. It's mind-blowing. Fantasia, I started with you. Started the call out the producer trend in the world. Thank you. It really started with Fifi O'Hara. It really started with Max, with Willem, with Pearl, with all of these queens who cut ties with World of Wonder and made themselves a huge monetary. They made a huge monetary sacrifice to simply set the record straight. So we just followed through as independent creators. But yeah. Yeah. Jules, it's a joke. Oh, okay. Okay. Luna, you mean 40% of the time? I mean 40% of the time. Probably 50, because the show hair lasts for 1 hour, but if you watch it live on VH1, it lasts for 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a good 50% of the time, but correct me on that, because I almost never have the chance to actually watch it live. I had a chance with the reunion. We were on Discord. We were watching the live reunion. We were watching live the reunion, and then I tapped out after 15 minutes. I thanked everybody and said, you know what, I cannot. I'm going to bed. I'm not staying up until 4 in the morning for this. Yeah, Fantasia and Amateur Season, you are in the US. Can you confirm that in the schedule, the main episodes are supposed to last 2 hours with 1 hour of advertisement in between? Because I'm not sure if it's 1 hour and a half total run or 2 hours, because if it's 2 hours, it makes 50% of the time is advertisement. If it's 1 hour and a half, then 33% of the time is advertisement, which is still a shit ton of advertisement money. It's still a shit ton of advertisement money. Felicia, the riggory is ruining the show. Let the talent of the queens be the focus. There are other competition shows that do it and have remained successful. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There is no drag race without drag queens. There is no drag race without drag queens. There is no doubt about that. Phoenix, we had a support group for people who watched the reunion after it aired. Don't watch the reunion. Don't watch the reunion. You will never get that hour of your life back. If you want to spend 1 hour watching some entertainment, watch the AIDS documentary, We Were Here. Please do that. Skip the reunion and watch something worth watching. Fantasia, it airs for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then I stand corrected. It's 33% of the time it's advertisement, which is still a shit ton of time. I mean, we've been here for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Imagine if I gave you 22 minutes of advertisement while this happened, since you came into the stream. Imagine that. Felicia, can you update on your fur babies? Oh, yes. Yes, Biscuit passed last week, actually. And, well, I'm going to say it the way I'm going to say it. You know, people on the internet talk a lot of shit. People on the internet don't really think about the things that they say. So I understand if many of you will take me with a grain of salt when I say what I'm going to say. But if you got to know me in this period of time, you know that I say what I say with full conscience of what I'm saying and full research to back it up. Biscuit was killed by the vet. She prescribed her a lethal dose of a medication called meloxicam without accurately calculating the dose based on her weight. So it was not our vet. She was on vacation. So as you know, she had problems. She was under antibiotics. She was fighting against 3 different bites that she got from mice she was introduced with not properly, because this is what happens when you go to get your animals in a shop. If I could, I would get them from a private breeder, you know, somebody who has a line of mice that, you know, is into mice, that likes them, that wants to keep having mice because they last only a couple of years, and treats them properly. Then I would get them from there. But we don't know anyone like this. So we get them from the shop. They get traumatized. They get mixed up. She had three bites. She had 3 necrosis, which is tissue that died and came off and left bare skin under it. In one, she developed a huge infection. She was fighting, she was winning, and then she received this dose of medication. And you know, I was monitoring her weight. I bought a precision balance to monitor her weight. She was gaining weight. She went from 16 grams to 19 grams, which you might think it's not a lot, but for a mouse that small, it's growing up. It's putting on, you know, weight, putting on muscle, putting on fighting, you know, fighting against infection. Then she prescribed this painkiller, and I didn't have the malice to, you know, actually go online and double check and be sure. I thought it's a vet. They know what they're doing. They knew what they're doing when they prescribed the antibiotic, and I gave it to her for 2 days, but the dose was double the maximum amount that she was supposed to get. And those kind of medication causes internal injuries, internal bleeding. It erodes the tissues in the lining of your stomach, in the lining of your intestines. So after a second day, I realized that she was not gaining weight anymore. I suspected it was the medication, but it was simply too late. From that moment on, she continued losing weight, and then she passed. And then I went online. I went on PubMed, which is, I don't know if you know it, but it's the site where you will find all the medical research in the world. All the medical articles in the world are indexed in there. So I checked the the toxicity curves for meloxicam. I checked the peer reviews on the effective dosage in mice. I checked all of these data before realizing that she was prescribed a lethal dose. And that is what happened. Our vet killed Biscuit. And, you know, she was going to survive. All her wounds, when she died, all her wounds were healed. She had fresh skin under it, healed skin under it. You know, she didn't die from the bites. She didn't die from the infection. She didn't die from all the stress that came with fighting all of that, being moved around, coming from the pet shop, being set in a cage with other mice biting her, then go to another. She didn't die from that. The vet killed her. A piece of shit of a person, unable to say, I don't know, killed her. And I will never forget that lesson. And I will never trust anything anymore when it comes to anything related to health. I have the ability to understand how these medical studies are done, and I will just consult them. Point blank. It's a mouse, you know, it's just a mouse. Billions of mice get killed every year in the name of progress, in the name of science, in the name of understanding, in the name of curing incurable diseases like Parkinson, Alzheimer's, skin cancer. And as a society, we all accept the cost of that. But that doesn't mean that if I chose one little mouse to be my friend, you know, can treat them as if it's nothing. She was my friend. She was my tiny friend. She would have been my tiny friend for a couple of years. And nobody has a right to treat her as if she means nothing. She means something for me. That should be more than enough. So, you know, I'm not angry about the amount of money that we had to spend in this month, and it was a lot, from making a new cage for them and going to the vet once, sometimes twice a week, all the medications, the cream, the antibiotic, the balance, the new food, the enriched food, the vitamins. I'm not angry about all of that. I was prepared for all of that. It's okay. I don't mind, you know, I don't go out drinking, I don't go out eating out. Yes, we need a new printer, but the old one still works. We can divert money on them. I don't care. But, you know, be careful. Be careful. We live in a world in which a degree means whatever it means. So, you know, if you decide to adopt one of these tiny animals, which are great animals, if you ask me, They are incredibly smart. They are incredibly playful. Please be aware that not everybody will know how to care for them. It's going to be rare that you will find a vet that can actually properly care for them, and you have to be suspicious of everything. That's plain and simple. So, I want you to know that Velvet is fine. I don't have pictures with me, but she had a necrosis as well. So a huge patch of tissue was dying on her butt. It was as big as her head, and but she pushed through. The antibiotic worked. She had her time. She didn't receive any of the meloxicam that was prescribed to Biscuit. She put on weight. She consistently put on weight. She started digging around. She jumps around. She is not growing hair anymore where the wound have healed, but she is completely healed. So this is the result. We got 6 mice and 2 of them we already lost. But at the end of the day, the best that you can do is just, I don't know, for me, continue spreading awareness about these tiny animals, because they pay a huge price in our society, and we need to at least remind everyone that they have empathy. And, you know, remind the lessons that I learned, like if you get pets from a store, don't give them a huge space, because that will stimulate their territorial instincts and pit them against each other's. Put them in a small cage. It might seem like it's a little bit cruel, especially if you have a huge space like we have, but it's really the best thing to make them bond with each other and prevent situations like this to start, because this whole mess started because in the shop they mixed 2 different batch of animals and just put them together as if nothing happened. And when we moved here, a lot of them were bitten already. The huge ass cage that we have made everything worse. They got bit even more, and we lost 2 of them. So, this is a sorry I went, but it helps. Helps to, you know, get it out, at least. So, let's slowly get back on track. Thanks for the comments, by the way. I'm keeping an eye on that. And yes, Peter, we shouldn't have to go to search on PubMed for side effect and toxicity levels and LD curves for medication that we get from someone who has a degree and who took an oath to do no harm. Because, you know, at the end of the day... Oh, sorry. But yes, we shouldn't have to do it. But we will do it. Trust and believe. We will do it every single fucking time. Back on Drag Race. Back to drag. Thank you, everyone, for the nice comments. Been keeping an eye on that. And I will show them to my partner tomorrow. Because, you know, the chat stands there every single live stream. So thank you. Thank you. And if you want to thank me even more, take a little bit of this lesson and use it in your everyday life. This will make it worth it. Moving back to Drag Race. Moving back to Drag Race. So, where were we? What were we talking about? Down Under? Oh, by the way, this has come from the Discord. I'm sorry I cannot give credit to whoever posted it. I think it was Fantasia, but maybe I saw it also from somebody else. They did a live reaction from the top 4 while they were actually watching the finale. And while watching the finale, they presented the look of everyone except Tamisha and Tina. So we didn't get to see them react to Tamisha and Tina's outfits, which already speaks tons if you ask me. And when it came to Elliot, they all shut up. Which, I don't know, take it as you will take it. But, when I think about Elliot, it might be because, I am an outsider in this manner. I see you from another culture. I see you from another country. But all that I know about Texas is that if you are a queer person or a person of color, you're going to have somehow a harder time than in many other places in the U.S. And that can be in obvious ways, like the fact that people might insult you, like the fact that people might make fun of you, people may even physically assault you. And then there are also subtle ways, cultural ways, that you might not even be aware of, because that's all you have ever known since the moment you were born. So, when I think about Elliot and see everything that went around, my first thought always goes to, wait a moment, but I could justify basically all of that, taking into account that that's the only culture she has ever known. So how am I going to judge her, if not for the effort that she puts to step out from that environment? You cannot choose where you are born. You cannot choose the culture that you get. What you can choose is to acknowledge what happens around you and move on from there. So personally, I don't understand all this shade that goes around Elliot. And, I am a reasonable person, and this is what I think. You might agree, you might disagree. However you feel, it's still valid. But also, let's take this into account for a moment. Phoenix, I want my money back for season 13. Well, I hope you didn't spend money for season 13, but at least you might want your time back. At least. TikTok meltdown. Someone said, someone was silent with 2 T's. Oh, yes. Luna, I understand about Tamisha, but why Tina? There might be things happening behind the scenes that we are not aware of. Never forget that. Never forget that. We always see the tip of the iceberg. And after you watch our show and the work that we do, you see about 10% of what's underwater. So there is still a ton of things that we don't know. But it might be related to that. It might be related to that and not be so obvious. If you go on filming and you start saying things like, oh, this cable shouldn't be running here freely. How is it called? It could cause someone to trip over. You shouldn't do that. So go fix it. Or it's 1 p.m. The contract says that now I must have a pause and lunch. So I will have a pause and I will have lunch and you will give me my fucking lunch. If it's called being difficult. So if you are being difficult, even though you have all the rights to be, because these are basic things, and it's just an example, don't forget that. But if you're being difficult, trust and believe, they will not be happy with it. They will not be happy with it. Groover, Mick apparently doesn't get along together with Elliot because she allegedly said some transphobic stuff during filming. Yeah, but then again, listen. I think it's always difficult when you get in the shades in between. I mean, when you talk about transphobia, when you talk about gay phobia, when you talk about any kind of these things, you will always see 2 groups. One group who is proactively going against you no matter what with everything that they have, and then you have this huge in between that you don't know if they're just ignorant or if they are really being hateful toward you. And it's very difficult to make the difference because you have to take into account the circumstances, you have to take into account the person, you have to take into account the culture. So at the age that Mick is, I don't think she even has the mental development to actually stop there for a moment and realize all of these things. But I don't want to dismiss her experiences. So if she feels that way, she has the right to feel this way. But if I'm looking at the situation from the outside, I will tell you that in my opinion, it looks at least a little bit suspicious. I wouldn't be so quick to draw a judgment. For me, it's still an exclamation mark. And I'm waiting for more information because ultimately, if you are a transphobic piece of shit, you will continue to be a transphobic piece of shit during the years. And I will see it and I will remove that question mark and replace it with an X and never talk about you ever again. If not, to remind everybody that you are a transphobic piece of shit. That's as simple as it is. And you know what I think about it. I have, for those who show a pattern of pushing against other people's rights, especially in this matter, I have zero tolerance. You can go fuck yourself. That's as simple as it gets. Go fuck yourself. And that's it. If you're being ignorant, is one thing. I still don't like you. But if you're being, actively against something, actively separating us and call us and people in our community as something different, as something less, then go fuck yourself. That's how it is. Here's my middle finger. Put it wherever you want. I'm pretty sure it won't be enough, so feel free to take the whole arm. And that's it. Jules, Tamisha looked out for Elliot and she said this in a Facebook post. Yeah, can you link it? It would be great. Oh no, but I don't have Facebook, so I cannot show it. So maybe could you maybe take a screenshot? I will show it on stream. I started to get the ability to actually import things live and also use a browser for the live stream. So I'm getting better. Woo! I am getting better. So yes, I'm trying my best to make this show a little bit better. And talking about a little bit better, finally we found out how much taxes we're going to pay. So we have a little bit of money from 1 year of doing the show and 1 year of having people on Patreon supporting us. By the way, we have a Patreon. So if you have a couple of dollars to throw us, please, anything will help. Any kind of support is appreciated. Now, after that plug is gone, we have a little bit of cash to upgrade our equipment. So I'll be getting a new microphone. I'll be getting a new screen, all sponsored by our people on Patreon. And in September, I will get a new computer so that my laptop can rest, can stay for private use, and I will get a proper computer, which means faster editing, which means faster videos, more content, and ultimately, put ourselves in the best position to start doing this channel at least part-time, so that we don't have to run and do everything in our free time and be late with videos and promise you things like 6 months, 1 year ago, Fantasia, you remember, and and have them out on time. And maybe one day even get paid for our times. Who knows? Anything can happen in life. You never know. Fantasia says, why do like Tamisha? You mean why I do like Tamisha? Because she tells you how it is. She's an old school bitch that doesn't give a shit and she will just tell it to you. And I can perfectly associate with that because I am the same way. I don't give a shit. I don't care about being polite. This is what I think and this is how it is. And keep it the fuck real. Stop sending this message that, oh, we are all real. We're all real. No, you're selling a fucking dream. You're doing that for a business. There is no shame in that. Don't be ashamed of that. Put on a persona. Put on whatever the fuck you want. But when you're being real, be fucking real. Because this is one thing that we are lacking in society. Everybody is so busy virtue signaling everything to everybody that we forgot. People really forgot the meaning of a real way of relating to different things, to different people, to different kind of entertainment, to relate to the fucking world. So, and I'm full of it. So I completely appreciate that. I can relate to that. So no hard feelings for Mama for never answering us. That is normal. We are on YouTube. YouTube is full of cloud chasing whores who will do everything to fuck with everyone as long as they get more money in their bank account. So as far as she knows, we could be that kind of person, and I completely agree with that. I would do the exact same. Still, she has all of my support, and she will continue to have all of my support. And this is all about Amisha that I can say, because, you know, she was one of in the last 3 to 4 years, she's been the only queen who actually went live and said, listen, they took pictures of us, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but pictures of our outfits so that they could be shown. And why do you think they did it? Why do you think they did it? To fuck it up the competition a little bit more. To have a little bit more power. It's World of Wonder. They just don't like some of the power. They just don't like most of the power. They want all of the power. So, you know, for me, I will always keep her on the palm of my hand and raise it up as much as I can. And this is not going to change. This is probably never going to change. Blazing Bard, I feel like the things with Elliot we've been talking about could have been brought up in the reunion. Yes, what a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity to also teach a lesson and bring awareness that it doesn't matter where you come from. The only thing that matters is how you decide to change yourself. It's the kind of direction you choose for yourself. That's the only thing that matters. We cannot start judging people based on where they were born. Who does that? Who the fuck does that? Phoenix, I like to think that Utika's music videos and the reunion was her telling off the show about how they did her dirty. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it. Because I went the fuck away from that reunion. But I will watch it. I will promise you that. I will watch it. Steph Gray says, so glad to hear you're getting the bag and improving the show. I honestly love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We still have the problems of the trademark infringement, which is our trademark that's been infringed. And we still have to solve that. But I can tell you this much. I will invest a portion of the coins that we get, 10% to be exact, to get a consultation from a lawyer. Because this situation cannot go on like this. I cannot keep having people coming here and say, you're stealing Manila and Latrice's brand with this show. It really strikes a nerve with me. And I said it in the last live stream, all that we went through when we started this show to make sure that we were not copying anyone, that there was no show called like this. And all the effort that we put in always give credit to everyone, let's be honest, there are a ton of videos here on YouTube with a ton of information that it's not possible that you did it all by yourself. So, and nobody gives credit to anyone. So we take great pride in always give fucking credit and always mention, ooh, this comes from this person, this comes from Discord, this comes from Reddit. So, you know, it really strikes a nerve and something has to be done about it. So we will see what we can actually do about it and at which cost. So we start getting an idea how to actually move and grow with this show and make it worthwhile. Because, you know, I like doing this show and this things really, really upsets me at the core. It really upsets me. For someone like me being told that I'm stealing from someone else, I don't have a thick skin when it comes to things like that. So we will see what happens. But we are doing something about it. So just know that, and we will continue to be here. One way or another, we will continue to be here. In our free time, in our spare time, who cares if we have little life? This show helps creating a new perspective and a better way to relate to entertainment, reality television in general, and hopefully maybe even give you something that you can get and use and profit from in your everyday life. That would be really the best thing that ever happens to this show. So it will continue one way or the other. It's only a matter of how. Blazing Bard, have you noticed how Bossy tries to fill your niche with her latest videos? At least she, Aki, and Buzzy came around to give your live stream 3 thumbs down. Well, I am not mad about the fact that we have more creators coming on YouTube and discussing what happens behind the scenes. Of course, I will always take pride in being one of the first who did this, show episode by episode. So I will always take pride in that. And I don't have time to think, oh, this is the thing that you do. Everybody can do it. As long as you bring in more information, you bring more awareness, that is the goal. Now, if at the end we give credit for what we do, that's even better. If we get money for what we do, that's fantastic. But the point is, people need to get, and I don't like using that word, but I'm going to use it, people need to get educated a little bit when it comes to how you relate to media and how it impacts the lives of our entertainers. So it doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as it comes. Otherwise, as I told you, and I will repeat you for ages, I was perfectly comfortable in doing commentary videos and parodies that would make millions of views and rack in the subscribers, rack in the money, rack in the patron support. I was perfectly fine doing that. So but it's not about that. It's not about that. And it's also funny. I like being on live streams. I like talking to you guys. I like the community that was built on Discord. By the way, there is a link for the Discord in the description. It's in the description of every video. Don't be shy. Join on Discord. Every Thursday night, we have our game night. So I will be there. If you want to have a talk, just hop in, have a game with us, have some fun. It's night for me. It's game night for me. Actually, if you're from the U.S., it's probably game late afternoon. And if you are in Australia, Japan, those kind of areas, it's probably early in the morning. It's like morning games. And this is how it is. Registered Human. I heard Bendela Creme and Simone apparently don't like Olivia. Well, if they started to speak about it, then maybe there is something, but I cannot really judge from what I saw on television. I don't trust what I saw on television, because you never know what's happening. To me, she looked, with that Utica thing, she looked kind of shady, but also we don't have the full picture. So I wouldn't know. But she just looked overproduced to me. She self-produced herself a little bit too much. But this is a season where everyone self-produced themselves. Rosé, Simone, Candy, Tina. It's just it looked to me like one way or the other, everybody was self-producing, with Gottmik being the least self-produced one. Peter M. says, we know from the Vixen situation that Ru wouldn't take the time to help people in the reunion. Fucking preach it. Preach it. Groover, you always give credit and we appreciate what you do. Thank you. Thank you. Fantasia, you might want to put a separate video addressing the issue and maybe people will see that. I know we've been here since season 12 and they started from Canada's Drag Race, so fuck them. I will have that video. It will come. It will be there. And the moment I actually have a good legal advice on which kind of situations we're in, then I will put the video up. One thing that I can tell you is that we have the legal right to keep the name. That is something that nobody can take away from us, because we were the one to use it in this specific kind of business. Because as you know, you cannot copyright a name. You cannot copyright something and have it apply to all of these different areas of business. Maybe you could do, if you're willing to spend millions, like for example Disney. You cannot use the word Disney in everything. Maybe you could use it in a song, because songs are a very special category where the copyright goes on the lyrics and on the musical composition, not on the title. But different areas of business are a different kind of copyright. So if you want to own the copyright for everything, you have to put an application for each and every area of business. So it doesn't matter that they had a song called The Chop. We are the first one who used to use this name in an online review show of RuPaul's Drag Race. And thankfully, the law is on our side, so nobody can forbid us to use it. The point is, can we do something more about it? Can we raise awareness at least about our situation so that people do not come and say, oh, you're stealing somebody else's branding? Fabio Alvarenga, your show is amazing. Really bring joy for me every week. Love the work you're doing, and the people here are doing it too. Thanks to bring this amazing content to us. Thank you for appreciating it, and thank you for being here. Thank you to be here. Sorry, I go off. When it comes to these things, I kind of go off, you know. Something clicks in my mind and I get kind of crazy, but... Zach, Iconic Thomas says, is the lip sync wheel at the finale rigged? I would be surprised if it isn't. I would be surprised if it isn't. Let's be real. I mean, why else wouldn't they let Candy choose her opponent? Why else? Tell me. Because it makes no sense. They've always done it. So there had to be a gag somewhere. Yes, of course it's rigged. And I can tell you something more. Well, rigged in my opinion, of course. I would like, when they choose the song, for both of the pit crew to open their boxes. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that the same song is in both boxes. So why don't we open both of them? That would be interesting. And I will eat my words if it happens in the future and it's different songs. But until that moment happens, in my opinion, it's the same song is on both boxes, plain and simple. Because, let's repeat it again, it's World of Wonder. They just don't like most of the power, they want all of the power. Even in the most trivial things. Phoenix Rising, I couldn't have gotten through season 13 without you guys. Believe me, the feeling is mutual. If I didn't have this review show, I would have stopped watching. What was it, episode 5, episode 6? Thanks, I've had enough. I will rewatch season 6, have fun with it. You can keep season 13 for yourself. I will not do it. I will not do it. I did it just because I was here with you on the live stream every fucking time, every fucking Sunday. That's the only thing that got me through it, you know, and the purpose of keep doing this kind of, creating this kind of content related to you, Drag Race here on YouTube. Those are the only reasons. Nobody else. I would have stopped watching. Plain and simple. Like it happened to season 11. I stopped watching after, what was it, episode 6, episode 7, when Scarlet Envy went home. I was done. I finished watching it like 6 months later, but that was it. That was it. Jade says, with Olivia and other queens, sometimes people just didn't like each other's personally, and it has nothing to do if the person is toxic or mean or whatever. Yeah, sometimes people just don't click. You know, there's not always one of these big reasons like, oh, you are phobic this, oh, you threw me under the bus. Sometimes people just don't click. And I would know it because, you know, I never click. It's rare for me to really click. So, at least in person. Steph Gray says, are you going to continue the chop with All-Star 6? Of course. We are going to cover all of the seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race US. I would cover more, but it's still not even a part-time, it's still a free time project, the channel. So I simply don't have the time. Even if I would do only the chop on this channel, I wouldn't have the time to cover all of the seasons. Not on this level of research, because, although with All Stars we're not going to do the confessional chart, so that's already 4 hours of work less that we have to do every Saturday and Sunday. But it still takes a lot of time. We have a ton of projects that are set aside because we gave precedence to the chop. But we have a ton of other things. Let's not forget the Gigi Good documentary. Let's never forget all the parody songs. So I want to give priority to that. Let's not forget the Lip Sync Commandment, who has been finished and copyright claimed and copyright blocked since, what was it, February? I did a watch party for the video on Discord for that, because I had no chance of putting it on YouTube because it was blocked. So I still have to re-edit that. And it's been, 3 months, 2 months? So, the time is of the essence of beauty. Blazing Bard, was season 13 the worst season than All Stars 5 though? I think we have to rewatch it in the future at some point now. Well, I'm not a huge fan of All Stars 5, but at least, in a way it was entertaining to me. Even with all that relatability that came through the confessionals, it still was in a way entertaining to me. But season 13 just drained me. It sucked the life out of me. And it was boring. That's the worst crime. It was boring. People are mad that it was rigged, than this and that. But, in a way, it's still television. I am more mad about the fact that it was boring. From a viewer's perspective, watching it, getting into the fantasy of the show, I was bored. Plain and simple. Then doing the review was gaggy. Of course it was, because it was so bad. But, as a normal viewer, it was boring. At least All Stars 5 had a little bit of something. But this was like, ugh. This season was a reach, like a long reach. Michelle Sabanda, season 13 was fun, but oh my god, when it ended, I was like, it's been 84 years. Yeah, we all became grandfathers during this season. It was so long. Phoenix Rising, thank you. We need you to help us get through the shenanigans that will be All-Star 6. Oh my god, yes. If they have the same production value of season 13, we're going to be in for a treat. It's going to be a fucking treat. Steph Gray, we understand videos take time to make and it's free time things, so take your time. I understand because I'm a student and I work and I make content as well, so I understand the struggle. Yeah, I am lucky. I am lucky because even though I do most of the editing for the channel, even though I am the one with, basically I am the interface with this channel, I still get about 10 to 20% of the work done by my partner. So at least I get help. There are people who are seriously doing all of this in all the free time that they can get. So at least I have a little bit of help. We're still late on a ton of things. I always tell myself, don't promise videos. Don't talk too much about future projects. Don't give deadlines because you will not be able to have things delivered on time. It happened a ton of times that I had been plenty of opportunity to understand, yet when I'm faced with question asking like, okay, when is the parody coming? We've been waiting for 8 months. And I was like, okay, yes, let's say a couple of weeks. And I try my best, but then I fail. Because the reality is, if I have to work more, then I don't have time for the channel. That's as simple as it gets. Or, if something happens in my life, like when we got this mice, thinking, okay, we have our tiny friends, and then everything that happened, and we have to be here every couple of hours, take them out, give them medication, clean them up, put them back, and do that every 2 hours. And God knows with Biscuit, I've been 3 nights in a row awake to keep an eye on her. It's, all adds up. All adds up. So I'm sorry that I cannot be consistent. But please show me the middle finger the moment that I'm actually paid to do this and I continue to be inconsistent. And when that happens, please show me both of your middle fingers. I will take it as a wake-up call. Okay? Jules, I watched season 12 and it felt like the last good season. The generation remembers it. Season 12, even though Redacted was in there, even though we got Gigi Good pushed down our throats again and again and again, it was so good compared to this season. The timing was very good. The casting was fantastic. Some challenges were, they were the way they were, but my God, it was a blast compared to season 13. Fabio says, you said you will do the chop for the U.S. series and All-Star 6. Do you think you will do the international too? No, I don't have the time for that. Especially if they overlap. If it's in a moment in which it doesn't overlap with anything and there are queens from the US, then maybe I will do it, because it probably means that it will be produced 100% to World of Wonder. And as you know, consider who they are. Every chance is good to show which kind of company they really are. So maybe. I will give you a maybe, okay? It's really a 50-50. It's really a 50-50. Luna says, just for funsies, if All-Star 6 changed one gag, propose the change. Well, if they make changes, I would guess that they make a change for getting even more power somehow. So it has to be that kind of change. So I don't know. What could it be? Like people coming from outside deciding the roles for challenges, for example. Things like, let's assume that they bring back the lip sync assassin thing. And they could come out with things like, okay, today's lip sync, you will have to do this challenge, and if you end up in the top, you will have to go against this lip sync assassin. And this lip sync assassin will also decide the roles that you have to do. So this could be something like this. Something like this. I don't think they're bringing back the voting for the final lip sync, because that was a fucked up format. Nobody liked it. It was really a bad decision, which caused a ton of troubles. Fantasia, that parody is good. It's good. You all can't wait to hear the whole thing. Yes, it is. It's really good. I can assure you it's 3 minutes of your time that you wish were 30. And I'm not reaching. Blazing Bard, I only show you the middle finger if you promise not to take the whole... I promise. I promise. Jules, in other news, I'm drinking an American vanilla Coke, expecting it to be sweeter than ours over here, and it's the same. This is how our season 13 felt. Phoenix, this whole season felt like RuPaul revealed his sweatpants and slides on the runway. I will never forget that interview when she actually said, the episode is still not out. What was it called? Not the reading episode. Oh my God. I need more liquid energy. The roast. I still don't have the actual episode for the roast, but you will see the clip in which RuPaul actually said, I wear sweatpants after I do my runway. And then you will have Utica saying, please stand up. Blake Robinson, who is your favorite guest judge to be on the show? And is there anyone you want to see as judge permanently other than the main four? Well, taking aside all of, there are some past queens who will make great at least guest judges. I would love to see Lady Bunny because she is fucking real. And she's being very vocal about the nature of the show. Sometimes I think maybe their friendship is more like a publicity stunt than a real thing because she really reads them hard. So I would love to see Lady Bunny sitting in there. And of course, some queens from past seasons, even just as guest judges, once in a while. So it's a comedy challenge. Bring Jinx Monsoon as a guest judge. Is it a ball? Bring Violet Chachki, bring Aquaria, bring queens that are actually very well known, that it's their brand to do that thing. We can have guest judges coming from wherever, but, it would also be on brand to do this kind of things. And as we know, in the contract, they have these additional appearances. So why not have them as guest judges? It's... the way they are mismanaging this brand, it's mind-blowing to me. You are sitting on a gold mine and still injuring your fucking brand every step of the way. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You are supposed to milk this brand for at least the next 20 years. So bring some fucking quality back to it so that it can have the longevity to bring you those billions of dollars in the next 10 to 20 years. It's crazy to me that a brand of that side could be mismanaged this way. It's really crazy. I don't understand it. Felicia, I hear that the international drag race is only 6 episodes. I haven't heard really anything about it because I try to be as far away from spoilers as I can. But I think somebody told me that it was officially announced, at least the casting, that they were looking out for queens. I don't know if there is anything official about it. I'm a little bit out of the loop. But feel free to drop in comments. You are welcome to correct me every step of the way. I encourage feedback. Fantasia at Luna, look at us giving more ideas. World of Wonder needs to produce top RPDR some funds for this content. It's for free. If it helps make the show better, take it. It's all for free. Just don't take some of my research and put it out as if it's yours. That I wouldn't like. But ideas for making the show better, by all means. We love this show. We want nothing better than to have it succeed and become great quality television to watch. So take it. It's free. I don't care. Michelle Sabanda, sorry if this is a tangent, but do you think some queens get more media attention / designer affiliation compared to others? For example, Jada versus Gigi Good or Bimini versus Stace? Absolutely yes. As you know, knowing personally a designer can help a lot. Having a designer know who you are can help a lot, especially when it comes to brand deals, because when you spend your coins to actually prepare for the season, you do not pay for these outfits as I would pay for them, for example, because you give them free publicity, because you mention their name to a following that it's growing 10, 100 folds while you are on Drag Race, so it brings awareness to their brand. So of course it's like if I was paying for advertising, if I was a dressmaker, a creator in that field, it would be as good as actually paying for advertisement. So you come to me and say, okay, I have to make 12 dresses. What's the cost? Well, the normal cost would be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Let's make it 40. Let's make it 30. Let's make it 45. You give me credit. You wear it. You give me some kind of deal. So of course, if you have access to that kind of compromises with designers, it's going to help you. Because let's be honest about it. Although the runway doesn't really mean anything anymore on this show, because it counts only if it's convenient to your storyline, still people on the other side of the screen will look at one outfit and say, oh my god, this is beautiful. You are presenting it very well. It's very well tailored. It's imaginative. And they will connect that outfits with you as a performer, as an entertainer, as a person with a specific taste. They will not stop to think that somebody else designed it, somebody else has made it. They will not stop to think about that. They will make the connection. And that is good for your brand. So, of course, it has a huge impact. So, yes, to your question, absolutely yes. TikTok Meltdown said, I don't think I ever asked this question, but have you ever been in drag? Well, I wouldn't call it drag, but yes, I had at one point in my life put makeup on and being as unfuckable as I could possibly have been. I was like 18, I think. It was a joke. We were joking around. I wouldn't have even gone as far as calling it being in drag. I was a boy in makeup in somebody else's bedroom. And that was it. But no, as a woman, I would probably be as unfuckable as humanly possible. I don't have the figure for that. I don't have, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be a good impression. Oh my god. I hope I'm not butchering this name, but I think it's pronounced Joao Suarez. And he's saying, Bunny already said that she would not be on Drag Race because of the formas. But she was on Drag U, though. Yes, she said it more than once, that she wouldn't absolutely be adjudged. And she also said that she was asked. She was supposed to be one of the main judges back in the day when the show started. But she said no, and she justified that by stating that what you see on television, it's still television, it's still entertainment, and I am more a queen of the drag scene. So I prefer to represent that. At least, I am... how do you say when you interpret somebody else's word? Well, you know the word. So I'm going by memory about that interview. Blazing Bard, I think they bring in famous guest judges to pick up new viewers, since the diehard fans will watch no matter what. I am not against bringing high-profile judges. I'm still waiting for Hyana, or at least Sacha Baron Cohen in his character Bruno during a fashion show. That would be gaggy. But that, the two things are not incompatible with each other's. Since they are queens and they are part of the brand and they are still probably under contract, they will also cost you less to bring on the show. So you could still do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and get the best of both worlds. That would be, a smart producing. You are still supposed to make fucking money. If you make a good show, you will make more fucking money. So make that fucking money. I'm not against people getting rich and getting money. Good for you. Good for you. But give me a great show. You can make more money. Doesn't anybody love money? You can make more money. Make it better. Phoenix, you should watch HBO's Max's Legendary. It's a ball competition with voguing and categories. I will definitely keep a look. Oh god. I will definitely watch that. Whenever I have a little bit more of free time, I will definitely watch it, because I haven't had time to actually watch almost any media at all. So I'm looking forward for at least a full weekend sitting on my fat ass and doing nothing but watching online content. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. So, what do you say if we take 5 minutes so that I can go smoke a cigarette? Oh, by the way, talking about gaggy things. 2 weeks ago I said, you know what, I want to try to quit smoking again. And as you know, I have an electronic cigarette so that I can vape, I can put nicotine in there, and it makes it all very easy. Of course, don't take my advice, since we know the research is stating that vaping at best is less harmful than smoking. So please, I'm legally obliged to say this. I'm not here to promote vaping, but it helps me quit smoking. So, of course, my electronic cigarette died. So I have a backup one which works like shit. So I tried it, it didn't work. So I'm still fucking smoking. So let's get a cigarette, take a toilet pause, because with all this energy drink, I need a toilet pause. But first, the cigarette. Always the cigarette first. Let me find a little bit of copyright-free music so that you have something to listen to. No, not materials, music and sounds. There we go. I have to start upgrading it because we have listened to the same music all over again, but for the moment it is like this. But I promise you, when the next season of Drag Race starts, we will get much better. That is a promise that I will maintain, and probably the only one. So let's get some music and take our pause. I hope this plays, and see you back in 5 minutes. And back we are. Back we are. A little bit more of liquid energy than enough. Otherwise, I'll stay awake until 5 in the morning, which is not good. Phoenix Rising says, one of the only thing I will miss about season 13 is stop saying delusion on the runway. This comment sounds very similar to when we did the Chop War All Stars 5, and I kept calling Miss Cracker Miss Relatable. That stuck. That bled in a ton of other videos. She's not Miss Cracker, she's Miss Relatable now. And the name stuck in all the relatable people that come here. Everybody calls her Miss Relatable. So, delusion on the runway, it will probably stuck as well. It will keep being here, don't worry. With emphasis, delusion on the runway. Blake Robinson, you yelling, don't you want money? It should be a pitch meeting for the producers for season 14. Yes. Yes, good God. And they have a fucking marketing department. What are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? Do your job. You're paid for doing it. I will never get it. I will never get the amount of not unprofessionalism, the lack of abilities in so many higher ups. It's mind-blowing. Hire fucking people that can do their job. That's really, don't you like money? Don't you want more money? You are a business. That is your first priority, to get money. And then, if keeping a good image helps you get more money, then keep a good image. So it's all about love. Everybody say money! Blake Robinson, when the copyright-free music plays, anyone else start rapidly death dropping? I hope so. Zach, I get terrified thinking about season 14. I'm more terrified about All-Star 6. But yes, I get your point. Blake, the casts have been really strong as of late, so kind of excited for what will come with season 14. We have to see, because you also have to keep in mind one thing. When you get the treatment, the kind of mistreatment that your image gets on RuPaul's Drag Race, if I was a talented queen with, let's say, enough talent and enough of a career to do drag full-time outside of Drag Race, you know, and you have your gigs, you have your things, you have worked your way to being actually able to make a living out of it, I would probably not go on Drag Race, because that could destroy you. So what I'm starting to think is that we are missing, you know, I don't want to shade anyone on season 14, but all of them have been kind of lackluster, with the exception of established queens like Tamisha, with the exception of incredible talents like Utica or Denali. Everybody else was kind of meh. So if you are established, if you're already doing, you know, doing well by yourself, why would you sign a contract like that and expose yourself to destroying your life by coming on Drag Race? So I'm starting to think probably the well-rounded, incredible entertainers that are out there that are unknown to us because they're only part of a local scene, they won't even apply to Drag Race. That's why, you know, we get all this middle of the pack. Because why would you? Why would you destroy something that you worked so hard to build and risk, you know, getting old and realizing, oh, fuck, I didn't make enough money to support myself? Let's not forget, it's the U.S. The state doesn't give you a pension when you get old. You have to make a 401k. You have to put money in there by yourself. If you're not making it, how the fuck are you going to live? The state is not going to pay for your medical needs when you get old. You need insurance. You need to pay it by yourself. How the fuck are you going to pay it? No, people never talk about things, about this kind of things, except Lady Bunny. Let's never forget, she's really vocal about this kind of things, which is the kind of politics that I would like to actually bleed into the show. But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't apply it. I wouldn't apply for Drag Race. Nobody would. Who in their right mind would actually do something like that? I don't get it. I wouldn't get it. So this is what I feel about it. Blake Robinson, I feel like Ariel Versace says, yes, she get more recognition. She gets it from me. I can tell you. I don't want to overuse it because it might get old, but from time to time you will hear me say that. Felicia, do you think they will bring back the horrible pork chop? Oh no. No. I understand and I agree with giving these queens a little bit more time to showcase themselves, especially after all the sacrifices that they make to be on the show. So, if you want to have a couple non-elimination episodes, there are incredible ways to do it. Incredible inventing and entertaining ways to do it. You just need the talent to back it up. You can even have 3 non-elimination episodes, but it has to be done in an entertaining way. In a way that brings out the best from your cast. That is your fucking job. So the way that it is, it will not come back. I can tell you that much. It will not come back. I feel so sure about this as I felt sure last year when we did the final show for season 12, which was incidentally actually also a prediction for All Stars 5, that they would remove the ability for the queens to actually choose who they wanted to eliminate, because they started to take advantage of it to push the season in a specific direction, like it happened in All Stars 4. So I am as sure as I was back in the day when I said that would change. We won't have any more Pork Chop Lounge. That will not happen. It was a catastrophe. It's a business. If it absolutely doesn't work, you have to let it go. If it works, stick with it. But if it doesn't, it needs to go. It needs to go. Peter M., do you think they might try making the gag of season 14 being the no twist? That would be refreshing. It's shady, I know. But that would be refreshing. Delta Schlin says, did anyone else see Laguna Blue and Salmonella compete on Nailed It? No, I didn't see it. I actually don't even know what Nailed It is. Let me Google it real quick. Where's the browser? There we go. Laguna Blue and Salmonella take the stage. Nailed it. Unfortunately, I cannot play it because it will be copyright claimed in the stream, which is not good for the channel. I will have to remove that section, and if I remove that section from the stream later on, we will lose the live chat, which, as you know, is 50% of this show. Your comments are 50% of this show. So I cannot play it, but it's on Facebook. So if anybody wants to see it, I can actually give you a link. There we go. And put it in the chat so that everybody has it. Why is japan.facebook.com? Let me see if I can get a US link. Let's try en.facebook.com. Doesn't exist. Let's try just facebook.com. We don't want the Japanese link. No shade to anyone in Japan, but there we go. Where was I in the comment? Oh, there we are. Coffee, guess who's back in the house? Hey, Coffee. Michelle Sabanda, sometimes I wonder the same shit about VH1 until I remember they've been running Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives since the 1600s. Oh, that's shady. Blazing Bard, especially since they always try to villainize well-established queens. Oh yes, that's the motto of All Stars. Take a beloved queen and make it all gaggy by throwing them under the bus. That happened since All Stars 1. Remember Pandora Box? Or did we forget about that? You know, a queen that was simply sad because she thought she had a shot at it and was actually portrayed as a fucking villain for throwing Mimi under the bus. If you are sad, you are sad. What can you do about it? Are we going to really ask people to deny the way they feel? Last time I checked, everybody was entitled to feel the way they feel. Then if you want, you can criticize their reasoning, but you feel the way you feel. So, and Alaska, of course, let's throw Alaska under the bus. Bibi, Latrice Royale, Alexis Mateo. It's the brand of All Stars. Take a beloved queens and fuck them over. So the moment the cast comes out, I will give you my prediction on who will get fucked over by the edit, because at this point, it's normal. It's a normality. It's what we came to accept as the essence of All Stars. Take a beloved queen and fuck them over. Yeah. Delta says, yes, the most recent season is about competing in pairs, and Selma and Laguna are as a pair. Oh, you're talking about the show, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, because if I start playing it, well, I could actually play it. You wouldn't hear anything, I think. But maybe it comes back through my microphone. So, no, I cannot risk getting a copyright claim on the stream. I don't want to miss the comments. Especially since so many of you left comments for Biscuit, and I know my partner will really appreciate reading them. So I don't want to risk losing them. Montana Banana, do you think RuPaul will ever step down as the main judge and the host? If he does, who do you think could be the new host for the show? Well, let's first make a premise about that. At some point, RuPaul will inevitably step down, because she is 60, she is not getting any younger, and probably this show will be on air, if they play their cards right, for the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, one way or the other. So eventually she will step down. Or she could also step down, let's say, if they reach some sort of agreement with World of Wonder, because it's still RuPaul Drag Race, and she has the rights to her name. I don't think she was so stupid to sign them out, to sell them, like some kind of mineral rights that were not really sold, but leased. So maybe she leased her name for the show. So if she reaches some kind of agreement in which they give her maybe even more money than what she gets for actually appearing on the show, yeah, she might step down as a guest judge, because as we know, RuPaul loves money. So it could happen. It could happen also sooner if they reach a good monetary agreement, because who doesn't like to get paid for doing nothing? But if it happens, I would bet it will have to do one of the past queens. My best guess is Bianca Del Rio. Nobody has the charisma of Bianca. You know, a lot of people online say, oh, well, but she has her shtick, but she can entertain you. You know, she doesn't need to have an earpiece to actually be sassy about someone. She can really be helpful. She has been in the scene a long time. She paid her dues. She knows what she's doing. She is, for me, one of the best candidates to be a future judge. And it would be an incredible investment to have somebody who is internationally famous as Bianca Del Rio to have them as the best judges. That as one of future possible replacement for RuPaul. That is my best guess. But if no agreement is reached, I would say that at least for the next 10 years, yes, we will still have RuPaul there. I mean, $50 mansion, it takes resources to maintain it. You need to pay taxes on it. You need to put furniture. You need to buy things. You will need to pay people to clean it for you. You know, it's all expenses. And even though fracking helps, it's always better to have more money, right? That's what's important in life. Delta, I've heard more than once from fairly reliable sources that Alaska is being promoted for it since All Stars 2. Well, I don't know, because you have to understand one thing. Alaska is a great queen. She was great on Drag Race, no matter what happened in All Stars 2. But most of what she is derivative. It's not really her. She's being pointed out many, many times, saying, oh, yeah, she is great at reading, but all of her reads, this one came from this movie, this one came from this show, this one came from this comedian. She's great as repurposing a lot of things and making it their own, which is not a crime, by the way. But, you know, I'm starting, the moment it comes to actually bring something unique, something new, something that comes in the moment, I'm not so sure that she could have the same stage presence as Bianca Del Rio. So, you know. Phoenix, I feel like we need a season 13 support group. But I guess that's it. Well, game night is the support group. Game night is the support group. And by the way, last game night, we found out that Fantasia likes the anal options. She walks children in nature. And she's always the alien. When in doubt, Fantasia is the alien. Don't forget that. Dixie, I'll never forget Pandora Box. Amazingly talented queen. Yeah, she was a blast at the time. By this time, she should have been, you know, she should get so much money and so on, but All Stars 1 fucked her so bad that it seemingly destroyed her Drag Race presence. And as you know, to be part of this brand and not having a presence, it's going to, you know, drastically reduce your income, your fame, your exposure. It's really bad what happened to Pandora. She was one of the most promising queens from the first 2 or 3 seasons. Groover, I went for a bath and we are still going. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's been just 2 hours and a half. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but when Biscuit was not feeling right, we had a live stream that went on for 7 hours and a half. Because I thought, you know what, since I'm going to stay up all night to keep an eye on her, let's, you know, if you keep me company, thank you. So we had an almost 8 hours live stream. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Vanessa, hello everyone. Hello Vanessa. Thank you for coming. Thank you. The review is over, but if you have any question, feel free to ask. Peter M. The Race Chaser association with Willem might hurt her chance, considering how World of Wonder feels on Willem. Yes, that could happen, but let's also not forget that every time she's on that podcast, she is like distancing herself, like every single time. You know, Willem is like spilling shit, and she's like, yes, but... So you never know. You never know. Dixie, if there was ever proof needed that RuPaul isn't getting any younger, her number on the finale performance proved it. Yes, Dixie. Yes. Fantasia, I'm offended. It's just, you know, I still have that screenshot. Where is it? I'm going to take it. Where's that screenshot? Oh my god. Where is it? I can't believe I cannot find it. Where is it? Ooh, it's on Discord. I have to get it before you delete it. I have to get it. Where's Discord? What was it? Live? It was in the live channel, wasn't it? It was. Come on, quick, quick. There we go. Save it. So we played this game where you're given fake words and you need to create definitions for it. And then Use it in a sentence. It feels like a spelling bee. Like, can you use it in a sentence? Oh, yes. Yes, I can use it in a sentence. Where did you save it? On the desktop. Okay. Where's the desktop? Why don't I see it on the oh, refresh. I still don't see it on the desktop. Oh, there it is. There we go. Dictionarium. I'll take the anal option, please and thank you. Definition, you're putting that where? Sentence. Fantasia once said 2 seconds ago, I'll take the anal option. Please and thank you. Oh my god. Oh, that was so much fun. I had so much. We played game like until what was it, like 7 in the morning, 7:30. I remember my partner woke up and he was ready to go to work, and I was still here playing games. Oh my god. Oh, by the way, YouTube is telling me that we are experiencing problems in receiving video to YouTube, so they cannot maintain a smooth streaming. Viewers will experience buffering. Is this happening? Because last time YouTube told me this and it wasn't really true. So please give me a quick comment. And in that case, I will take like a 2 minutes pause until everything syncs back together. Groover, it's fine now. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So back to the condom. The condom. Oh my god. Oh my god. Talking about lapses. Oh my god. It's almost 2 in the morning. Please. Steph Gray. Plot twist. RuPaul is the grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Candy Box. Being near the same age as Ru, I would say if I only looked that good. Well, when you live a privileged life, and you have makeup artists working for you, and you have filters, and you have money, I can assure you, you will look that good, if even better. Delta, sweetheart, you have been mispronounced my name a few times. Ooh, I know. It's Del, not Delta, but I like Delta. But I like it. Can I take Delta? But I can go with Del. I can go with Del. Oh, chat, don't skip chat. Luna, Fantasia said 2 seconds ago, lives in my mind at all times. Yes. Groover, I don't even call her RuPaul anymore. I call her RuPaul. Like RuPaul. Blazing Bar YouTube calls shit. It wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time. Josh, at this rate, I can't wait for Drag Race Mars. I can't wait for Drag Race Vatican City. You know, there is still that matter of the 2 popes, with one losing the title of Pope and somebody else taking the throne in its place. That needs to be resolved, possibly on camera. Possibly on camera. Blazing Bar, back to the condom. Phoenix, I need a parody about RuPaul's sweatpants saying, I don't get cute, I get drop that comfy. Yeah, I still need to find a way to do those sort of things. But it is possible. I can tell you, it's possible. I just don't know how to do it. And I don't have the computational power to do it. But it is possible. Blazing Bard, Fantasia, you're from Europe? No, Fantasia is from the U.S. I don't remember which state, but if she wants to tell the state, she will tell it herself. Coffee, Tamisha's new song, You're Being Privileged. Felicia, Delta work. Felicia, no, it was 2 a.m. when we finished the game. Yes, it was 2 a.m. for you. It was 7 a.m. for me. Candy Box, she has never had weight fluctuations or the normal things that make us mere mortals look in awe. Oh yes, that's also true. But you never know, weight fluctuation, it's only one of the things that will slightly, if even, maybe reduce your lifespan. What I think really makes the difference, it's not like really, I don't want to shade her because she did work, but doing menial jobs, jobs that you need to get out, that you need to move around, that you need to move things that really demand you physically, that it's really something that's going to reduce your lifespan, I would say, by a good 5 years. Minimum. Michelle, anyone here Love, Death plus Robots fan? I don't know it. RuPaul kind of remind me of Zima from the Zima Blue episode. And I have no idea what that is as well. I might be too old school. Oh, Zima Blue, TV episode from 2019. That explains it. Steph Gray, going to bed because I'm tired, and if it's late here in the UK, so thank you for a great stream. As always, see you for All Star 6. Of course, see you for All Star 6, or on Discord, on Thursdays. Thank you for coming anyway. And Coffee, I said what I said. We will always keep saying that we said what we said. Groover, she can wave towards me, and the wind she makes by waving will make me fly to another galaxy. That's so nice. That's so nice. You should tweet her that. Luna says, oh, to Michelle, I will start watching it too. I have no idea what it is. It looks like it could be science fiction inspired, because if it is, then I am interested. I am a huge science fiction fan. Blazing Bart, and that's what the lady said. That is what she said. At least we forget. That is what we get. Let's try to vape from this destroyed electronic cigarette. It's so bad. Fantasia. Sorry. This cigarette is so bad it makes me cough so much. Fantasia, maybe we can party for Legendary? I love that show. Of course, I mean, the fact that I am not reviewing something on the channel, or I'm not having videos on something on the channel, you know the gist, you know the time thing. But Discord is another thing, One thing is finding hours upon hours for making a video. Another thing is coming, 3 or 4 hours a week to Discord and do something together. That's always open. Of course, let's, you are the president of Discord. You organize it, I will follow. That's how it works. That's how it works. Groover, do people even use Twitter? Do RuPaul even uses Twitter? Yes, unless the Black Lives Matter movement is in full swing. In that case, she will happily deactivate it. And I said what I said. Lemon, do you think they will keep the same format from All Stars 5 to All Stars 6? I don't think that the signs are as strong as when we came from All Stars 4. And by signs, I mean signs that something will change. But let's not forget, All Stars, it's also the safe place to experiment new things. So it could be. I would think personally, since they want to retain the power, and we are all gagged by seeing queens from earlier seasons, especially if they don't have to pay them because of the contract. So based on that, I think we will retain the format of the lip sync assassin. Of course, that's just my opinion as usual. Maybe they will tweak a little bit of something else. But yes, if something changes, it will change during All Stars, not during regular seasons, unless they're really forced to. And but I don't think it's going to be the lip sync assassin thing. It's been one of the highlights of the last season. Dell says, you can call me whatever you like, except late for a live stream. I will say Dell, don't worry. Coffee, didn't RuPaul stop calling her RuPaul? It sounds like loophole to me. which is kind of poetic justice, isn't it? Didn't RuPaul leave Twitter when the pandemic started? Oh yes, it wasn't when the pandemic started. It was when somebody got murdered, and people didn't like it. And there was an uprising, and people started actually speaking out. That's when the account was deactivated. And yes, I have the screenshot. And yes, it's part of the materials that will be part of videos. So don't worry, just because I'm not showing it doesn't mean that I didn't see it, because I mentioned it more than once. Fantasia, what day is Down Under coming? Because it said May 1st. But that's a Saturday. I have no idea. Felicia, Tamisha in an Instagram live stream credited Nini Leaks, who owns the copyright, for I Said What I Said. Owns the copyright on what? Because, a lot of people said when it came to Tamisha's song, this is something I will do a post video talking about it. Because there has been so many comments on that video, and I couldn't humanly reply to each and every one of them. So I will make a tiny follow-up video. But a lot of people commented that DJ Mitch, the one that created the song for Tamisha's video, that he didn't own the right to use Tamisha's voice. Now, that is wrong, because what he did was taking part of the show, transform it into something else, and creating a final product that is original in its own right. And that is the bare definition of fair use. So, DJ Mitch owns the copyright on that song, because it was fair use, as much as each and every one of us here on YouTube own the copyright on our own videos, because it is fair use. And even though you start with copyrighted material, if the use that you are doing is fair, then you own the copyright on the final product. So if Tamisha has used that song in her video, she has to have acquired the rights from him. There is no escape from that. And depending on the way their contract was worded, either she was allowed to use her song wherever she liked to use it, or they had to acquire a license for the song so that she could perform it for the video that went on during the reunion. Sorry, I'm starting to eat my words because I'm starting to get tired. But you get my point. Dixie, are you going to continue Thursday game night? Oh yes. I mean, this is a community that's not just here on YouTube. It continues elsewhere, and Discord is a fantastic place to, stick together and talk about the things that we like and share what we know and spend time together. After all, we are still on lockdown, each and every one of them. We all have free time. So yes, it will be there. I will be there. Maybe not every Thursday, but most of them I will be there. Amateur, I hope so. Game nights are the best part of the week. Yes, game nights and the Sundays. But game night's even better because I don't have to prepare anything. I don't have to work for, preparing anything at all. I just come there. Pipe says, you're awesome. Thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. It's only half of the fun to know something. The other half is sharing it. Coffee, RuPaul's Loophole is the new name for season 13. No, for season 13, I actually prefer to call it something else. What was it? Filler on steroids. That's the official definition for season 13. Filler on steroids. Fantasia, yes, Dixie, they had trivia games. Trivia game night, RuPaul's Drag Race style, hosted by amateur, and it was fun as hell. Hard, but fun. Oh, yes. Because if you think that I'm a diehard fan, then you don't know amateur season. She makes, I did one of her contests, and I finished last. So... let's admit to that. Oh, good God. Amateur season, what's the fun in having an easy Drag Race trivia game? I have to agree on that. I will have to agree on that. Nevertheless, I ended up last. Phoenix, I love game nights. It's when I face my old nemesis. Drag Race entrance quotes. Oh yeah, I have one for you. Who said during her entrance, "Hey girl, hey"? And she's iconic. Fantasia, anybody can host anything they want. For the most part, I don't have to be part of it. Yes, of course. Of course, we are like a dissident group. We are decentralized. There is no central authority. We are like resistance cells. Amateur season, don't worry, I'm making more entrance quotes. Dixie, okay, it's officially time to join the fun. Oh yes. We have if you come on Discord and scroll to the very bottom of it, that's where we have the live channels. There is a live chat and all the streaming channels. Coffee, thanks Top RPDR for making me a law genius. Oh my God, no, don't take my word for it. I give my opinions, I give out the things that I know and so on, but take it as a starting point, not as a reliable source of information. Take it really as a starting point to get an idea of what's really going on. But then if you needed to bring it to your life, always get professional help. It always. Felicia, someone asked if Tamisha was going to make I Said What I Said merch, and she referenced the owner, Nene Leakes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, who owns the copyright on I Said What I Said. I didn't know you could copyright a saying, but as we've come to know, catchphrases are basically part of internet culture, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could copyright that. I wouldn't be surprised at all, especially because you can make a ton of money out of it. So could be. Nevertheless, the way Mitch created the song, it's still fair use. Amateur season, you also won one. Did I? Oh yes, the looks. Find out the queens. Yeah, but that was easy. That doesn't count. Come on, you did it. You did it to make me feel better. Be honest. Coffee, decentralized. Can we be count try, please? Michelle, RPDR, RuPaul Dix rocks. Dix rocks. Well, you need to dig it before you frack it. Amateur. Guys, just remember that Nicole Paige Brooks is from Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Like so many other incredible queens. Groover. Upal hula hoop. I'm destroying. I cannot read it. I would destroy the joke. I would destroy the joke. Michelle, oh my God, didn't Khloe Kardashian try to patent or copyright Occur? Or was it Cardi B? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. There is no limit to people's greed and what they will do to get more checks. Good God. Amateur season, me? The cheek, the nerve, the audacity, and the gumption. Nobody still hasn't told me for the chat which queen had as her entrance catchphrase, "Hey girl, hey." I'm waiting while I have a little bit of a drink. Water. I have a little bit of water. Sponsored by... No, not sponsored. Bought from Lidl, of course. It's not bubbly bound sparkling water, but I'm pretty sure it's cheaper and probably even much better. Since I cannot pronounce the first part of the name, I will just go with the second. Nimrod said, Simone won from the very beginning of the season. Well, considering how it came out, yes. I mean, she came out really, really strong. But also, the challenges that we had were in, they were at the very beginning. Maybe just for that purpose. Just putting the idea out there. Put it in a bubble, send it to the world. Felicia, I would love to see Nicole Paige Brooks on All Stars. We would all love to see it, but judging by the way things are going, I don't know. They're not being very kind to queens from very early seasons. Apart from Bibi and Tatiana. Everybody else was basically thrown under the bus. Coffee, it's on the tip of my brain. Who said it? Yes, who said it? I'll give you a hint. She doesn't appear to do drag anymore. Phoenix, I feel seen right now. Me too. Let me close my webcam. I have a blocker from the webcam because you never know. Sometimes accidentally you might activate it. You never know. So I have a physical block that blocks the webcam. Amateur season. Ding, ding, ding. Ivy Winters. Yes, it was Ivy in season 5. She came in without a catchphrase, without anything. She just saw the other quiz and went, hey, girl, hey. The whore poison. I need to see Miss Kasha Davis on All Stars. Oh, we need more Kasha Davis. My God. That was a crime. That was really a crime. She is one of the best queen, and I said what I said, to come out from season 7 for me. We never have enough. Who can forget? There's always time for a cocktail. Who can forget that? Who can forget? Beatrice J. Jolie. Yes, possibly not in a uniform. Beverly, was it Willem? It was Ivy. A Blazing Bard. Jade does drag. Yes, she does. Amateur season. I know my entrance quotes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Dixie, what season? Season 5. Season 5, episode 1. TikTok meltdown. How many energy drinks have you had today? I had 3, but these are the bigger bottles with 330 milliliters. I had 3, so I had a liter. I had a liter of energy drink. Not a liter. It sounds like I had cat litter as an energy drink. Liter. Lighter. I don't know how it's pronounced in English, sorry. It's more than a pint. I would say 1.5. Let's say liters. Pint. Oh, no. From US, it's half a pint. Or in gallons? No, gallons is too much. Cups? 4 cups. 0.2. Oh, we could go for tablespoons. 67.6 tablespoons. Isn't math interesting? Blazing Bar, Alyssa Summers? Gosh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah, I don't think she even does drag anymore, but she's one of the favorite queens of amateur. So I'm going to respect the shit out of it. Fantasia, I never seen the debut of Sergeant Jade. I have to find it for you. It's like, oh my god. We have an over 18 section on Discord. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Yeah, you know, I cannot even name what she was dressed as, but you know what it is, and please don't write it in the chat. You know how YouTube is. But yes, I'll share a link if I find it, because these things have a tendency to disappear quick. Blake, Kasha's on TikTok, and there was something about attracting her with a line of wine bottles and openers that was hilarious. I don't have I'm too old for even have TikTok. No. And I don't have any applications. I tried to actually download on an emulator the stereo app, but then it started asking me for my number, my email, and I was like, fuck that. My privacy is my own. You want me to be on your app? Then stop asking me for information that you can sell. No. Dell, Cardi B tried to copyright Occur, said the way Laganja did. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Luna, my doctor, you have to drink 134 tablespoons of water every day. Oh, yes. Coffee, now I am a mathematician and a scientist. Dixie, Sweet Ivy. Sweet Ivy. It's a crime that she won't be on All Stars. It really is. Michelle, you know what always bothered me now? What always bothered me was how they edited Candy Who out of season 7, but kept her around for so long. I don't think I'll ever understand that. Me neither. Me neither. You know, when I did that video, because Candy Who comes from it's a joke, and I'm very proud of it, because English is not my first language. That we made for the video Blame It on the Edit, the top 10 shady edits. And when I counted the episodes she was actually in, I was mind blown. I was like, how the fuck is it possible? I thought she went home third. Like she lasted 3 episodes, maybe 4, and then they edited her out of things. It was crazy. It was crazy. Blazing Bard, even my straight friends know about Occur. Oh yes, drag culture has definitely bled into mainstream cultures. I mean, look at Jasmine Masters, for example. Even here I have people quoting her without even knowing who she is. Blake, do you think they would ever have 2 Snatch games on one season, like how they had multiple Rusicals on season 12? Maybe not Snatch Game, but another celebrity impersonation challenge. I sure would like something like that. Something a little bit more fucked up as well, you know? More more pushing the limits. That's what I would love. Yes, why not? It would be still better than this acting challenge that we're getting. You know, I love the last acting challenge that was on this season, but that was a rarity. Everything else can really go down the drain. I could write better stuff while being on the toilet and high and hungry. Felicia, Nina Flower is another one I would like to see on All Stars. Oh yeah. And Tammy Brown. Let's talk about Tammy Brown. Grover, bye you guys. Denali passed Instagram followers to Utica. Oh my god, Denali. Denali. If this doesn't prove that she is the true winner of this season, I don't know what does. With Tamisha runner-up, they are sharing the throne. 6 months for Denali. The first 6 months because she was less known, and the last 6 to Mother. That's it. Overlooked by Jada S and Saul, of course. That's our trinity. Montana Banana, my boyfriend and I are both local drag queens here in Cincinnati. We are pretty well known locally, but we'll never get famous or rich because we don't want to be on Drag Race. Well, I promise you, if you audition, we will still be doing this show. And we will still be calling bullshit. So I don't know if we will ever get famous enough to have like 50,000 viewers tuning in and spreading the words, but we will do it. And then you can contact me privately and tell me everything that happened. And I will pretend like an anonymous tip came and this happened. Blazing Bard, referring to Candy Ho, she was simply a fierce, too fierce of a lip syncer. They did their hardest to even edit her out of the break-free lip sync. Oh yeah, she won that lip sync. She won that lip sync. But in season 7, it's when lip syncs stop to actually have any kind of weight. You know, unless it's something incredible, then... You know, never forget Trixie versus Pearl. I don't want to get there, I promise. I don't want to poke that a little bit too much. I just want to say it was kind of convenient. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm done. Del, as a one-time special, have everyone who has played Beyonce on Snatch Game play each other. Oh my god. Do you see the kind of ideas I'm talking about? That's a great idea. That's a great idea. But then who would want... You know, Tyra Sanchez back on the show from World of Wonder. What she did, it's not something you easily forget. And you don't want to give a platform to somebody who makes those kind of jokes, even though they were framed in a way that, to me, they look like no jokes. So, I don't know. But you are on track for something there. You know, that's a great idea. So, you know... Brainstorming around it, I think something incredible could come out of it. Grover, wait, no, why did I write bye? I don't know. It was supposed to be by the way, but I'm so tired. No worries. It's 2 in the morning. Do you hear all the bullshit that it's coming out of my mouth? You don't need to apologize for that. I mean, compared to me, it's a breath of fresh air. TikTok Meltdown, what's your favorite Snatch Game performance? It will always be Tatiana as Britney Spears. First Snatch Game, no chance to prepare anything, no idea what you were doing, and she fucking killed it. And it will always be the best one for me, overall. Not saying that we didn't have incredible ones, because we did have them, like Jinx Monsoon, for example, or Bandela Creme, but yes... She will always be my favorite. She will always be my favorite. Felicia, I just read that Nina West is going to do a show for kids with another host. Oh yes, grooming is always in vogue. Did you hear anything about James Charles? My opinion, of course. Grover, I said, by the way, I just noticed an alley past Utica in followers, but it autocorrected you with by instead of by the way. Don't worry, don't worry. Coffee, oh, I thought she like transferred them or so. Yes, that's what I understood too. Did you have a problem there as well? Because I didn't get that. Blake, the best Snatch game is either 6 or 7. No debate about it. They weren't any duds, and even the worst were so bad it was funny. Max doing Sharon was amazing. I wouldn't go as far as saying that it is amazing, but it was an amazing train wreck. Yes. Groover, Denali is, according to Aki Lee, the biggest winner because she scored 3 places above her original placement. I didn't see this video that you're referencing, but I agree with the fact that she is the biggest winner of this season. Like, point none. You know, the video, the following, the edit that she got. You know, when you're fucked that way, it's actually one of those cases in which losing is the new winning for real. And she produced amazing content, and she collaborated with a ton of other queens. She looks like a very direct person with not so much producing going around. She speaks her mind. So for me, she is, you know, one of the best queen to ever come out of this season. Point none. Bear none. Fantasia, Montana, share some content on the Discord. You will at least gain 10 followers. Or at least me. Oh, yes. If you are a content creator, please, we have a section on the Discord especially for you. So please share your content, and if you are doing something that really blows my mind, I will give you a shout out in our videos on this channel. So do the best that you can, do a good work, and if you need it, we will shout you out and get you kick-started. Like we shout out Amateur Season all of the time, but you know, Amateur Season is our resident moderator with Fantasia, so I keep it as a default. When she feel like continue producing. A Blazing Bart, unpopular opinion. I never found Kennedy Little Richard. Oh, I'm not going to read that comment. That was genius. That was genius. It was revolutionary. You're a hater, Blazing. You're a hater. You don't like her because she's black. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking, of course. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but I didn't get the Tamar person losing her mind. I did get Little Richards. I thought it was funny as hell. I thought it was really well done. It was revolutionary because, you know, being a man and putting on makeup to appear as a man who uses makeup, by itself, it's an achievement. By itself is an achievement. Goover Orna, I choked talking about JC. Yes, yes. And we will keep it at that. But, you know, everybody has Google. Use it. And I don't mean, you know, it sounded like shit. I don't mean it to you. I mean that it was referred to, you know, the way YouTube is. Especially to smaller creators. If you're very big, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want. But if you're not, everything will hurt you. Michelle, can we discuss the contradictions of critique that became runway look or praised? Mick wearing a beard, bearded runway, pants on runway, Alaska in boy drag, Kennedy winning as Little Richard. That's a nice point, but I am too tired for that. It's mostly, at this point in the night, it's mostly shit talk. But you have a good point. You have a good point. Blake, Robbie Turner saying she poops a pill RuPaul lives in my head forever and that will never change. I think I missed the meaning of that. Am I stroking? Because I'm starting to stroke. Grover Kennedy is so criminally underrated, and she is the true winner of All Stars 3. I said what I said. She is. But of course, comedy is subjective, so, you know, if somebody said it didn't make me laugh, I completely understand it. There is a ton of shit that people think is hilarious, and I'm like, Is it over yet? Thank God. Coffee Kennedy is perfect. Did you catch her on her early episodes of Tamisha's drag battle? No, not really. Not really. It was still a time in which I was trying to deliver episodes every Tuesday, and I was overworked and overstressed and overtired. It was really a moment in which I was really sitting on the toilet with my laptop preparing stuff. So no, I didn't catch it, and then I didn't catch it back anymore. But I saw it on with Jasmine. And then at some point, people said, well, Jasmine is not in drag because she doesn't paint if she is not paid, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then Jasmine proved everybody's wrong by coming to the show in drag. And as Coffee said, good people stick together. And that's what we got on that drag race. Because to me, it will always be Tamisha's Drag Race. We can call it a live show. We can call it virtual drag battle. It's Tamisha's Drag Race. Let's call things with their rightful name. Blake Robinson, what's the situation with Nina West? Is there something I don't know about? Well, who gives a shit? Yes, to me, yes. When you have a live show where the age limit is 16 years old, and then you grab people from the audience, seemingly looking like you are actively choosing them, and then you perform a sexual act on them that involves fetishism, and passing it out as part of a show, as to me looks like plausible deniability, to me is a form. I would not go as far as calling it assault, but unless the person is underage, of course, which of course there were people underage at these shows. But it looks very, very convenient. At least I would call it abuse of power, because you're not forced to do that kind of numbers. Nobody is forcing you. You could do like everybody is doing it, like having your hired people that are paid to be there, and you can do your show and be as provocative as you want, and I am all in for it. I love this kind of fucked up things during live shows because that's the kind of drag culture I was grown up with. So I'm not questioning the number, I'm questioning everything that goes around it, especially if you're going to grab their crotch. And I said what I said. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, then we have a backup channel on BitChute, and you will conveniently find a video there that couldn't possibly be uploaded here on YouTube. So if you want receipts, they are on the BitChute channel. There is a link in the Patreon. There is a link somewhere on the live chat. As usual, links in everything is open on Patreon. You don't need to give me money to have access to things. There's a link on the home page. And there's a link to the Patreon in the description. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. You will get everything you need to know. And of course, it's also career suicide, because if your brand is being a Disney queen, well, then maybe you shouldn't be doing that kind of things during a live show. I mean, I appreciate fucked up things at live shows if the audience is, 18 plus, 21 plus, not 16. No. That's not the kind of impression. That's not the kind of education. That's not the kind of message that I want these people to get. And then being a Disney queen? Oh, come on, fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm just too tired to be polite. I'm still reasonable. I'm still me. It's just that I'm tired and... So where are we with the chat? Fantasia, even if Kennedy had won, they would support her like they do others, because she is one of the real ones out there. Absolutely agree. Too real. Too real if you ask me. Too real. We don't deserve her. Plain and simple. Carrie Mack, hello, jumping into the middle here. Yes. You just came at the right moment, didn't you? The moment where I lost it. Great. Good God. Dixie, I stand for Kennedy. Always. Always. And for her that chicken runway in season 7, teaching people the real meaning of trade. Let's not forget that as well. Blazing Bar, imagine being scared to order a foot-long Subway as Tina West. You know, I cannot hear the song Footloose anymore. It's triggering. No, it's not really triggering, but I cannot hear it anymore. It makes me go like, ugh, ugh. And I'm not talking about the thing itself. I mean, if it's your thing that you like, it's your thing that you like. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not about the act itself. It's about how you do it, when you do it, and to whom you do it. That's all about that. So, Groover, Carrie is probably scared. We out here talking about Nina loving feet. Carrie, don't get scared. I'm back as myself. Let me drink a little bit of water. Blake Robinson, everybody get loose. Do you know that I have a parody song already written about that? It's already written. It's all there. And it's been there for almost a year and a half. I'm not sure if I will ever produce it. And since we are just, you know, the intimate groups, since it's just between us, I also rewrote the verse for Miss Cracker's I'm in Love performance for All Stars 5. But if I would ever publish something like that, I would be kicked out from YouTube. Plain and simple. You cannot say things like that. Even if it's a parody, even if it's whatever it is. And if you know what I've been talking about Cracker during, you know, the last streams for All Stars and the things that have been going on in her career as a journalist, then you know what was the gist of that parody. But we live in the day we live, and channel survival is channel survival. Oh, Blake, come on. I appreciate it, but I will not read it. Dixie, especially when she has story time to 5-year-olds on Facebook during a pandemic. Yeah, come on. Come on. I mean, there are people who had their career ended for much, much less. You know, it's also a matter of consistency. It's also a matter of consistency and understand the huge influence that you have. You know, you should be more careful. Also for Nina, you know, you have to be more careful. You cannot do these kind of things when you have such kind of brand. You know, even giving her the benefit of the doubt for everything, which I think it's far too much. But, you know, it's stupid. Why would you risk doing something like that? I don't know. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Phoenix, what's the link to the other content that can be posted on YouTube? I cannot post a link here on YouTube, and please don't post links to video providers other than YouTube in the chat, because you know what the gist is. You will find a link to the Patreon in the description of the live stream. In the front page, you will find where there is the description of the channel, you will find a link to the backup channel on BitChute. Go there and browse it. You will see it from the thumbnail. Or I can also post a link directly on the Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description. Let me first get to the channel and my internet, and it's not working. Groover, sometimes I forget that Miss Relatable exists. And you know what? I'm happy with that. Well said. Felicia, Tamisha said on a recent Instagram live that her ostomy will be reversed soon. I can only imagine how fierce she will be again on the dance floor. Yes, let's not forget one thing. When you get an ostomy bag, sometimes it can be a temporary thing. So it's great that she's getting it off. But let's not forget, when you go through what she has been going through, you need to be on alert for the rest of your life. Do your checkups every 6 months and, be really, really careful. Where's the home page? Come on. It's starting to get slow. Starting to get old. Where is it? This is your... Okay, view your public page. There we go. Here it is. Okay, link to the channel. Here we go. Video is called Drag is Magic. Discord. Okay, I'll post it in Discord under the... Is it mature content? Stop. Is this mature content? I would say yes. I would say yes. So I'll put it under mature content on the Discord. The link for the video. Okay. Back to the chat. Fantasia, is anyone following what's going on with Dragula? We are following what's going on with Dragula. And they got picked up on a major streaming network. The price increased to $100,000 and they are currently casting for season 4. So, yes, I'm a huge fan of Dragula. I love the Boulet brothers. They are really down to earth. They put in the work. Let's never forget the resurrection episode that they have. That was incredible. I mean, in comparison, that afterthought that World of Wonder did for the Halloween special looked like shit. It's incredible. They are really coming for RuPaul's gig. They are. I love Dragula. I love it. Grover, Tamisha will kick and twirl and kick and split. Well, I don't know because she's still 50, but she will get. She will start getting more crazy. You know, she was very composed. She was very, careful on Drag Race. So we're starting to get to see a little bit more of what Tamisha Iman can do. Fantasia, let's talk about the reunion videos. I didn't. Oh yes, you guys can talk about it, but I didn't see. I just saw Tamisha's. That hands there. Lala Ree had a good original song. Oh, Lala. I would have preferred if they switched Olivia Lux with Lala Ree. I would have enjoyed it more. Groover, I like Joy's. It was cute. Blake, I don't know if there can ever be another big great Ru girl like Alaska or Bianca. They are there somewhere, but they're not applying or they're not being cast. But they are there because it's mathematically impossible that they're not. Carrie, can't wait for Tamisha's recovery. Can't wait for Tamisha to bring the full potential that she has. That I want to see. Jules, to me, Alaska and Bianca aren't that great. Sorry, I said it. Don't be sorry. It's your opinion. You know, it's not like you came out and said, oh no, Alaska and Bianca are shit. No, come on. You say, to me are not great. That's fair. Don't be sorry. Let's get back to the real world. Come on. Coffee. How were the budget divided for the finale music videos? I don't even think that they gave the queens a budget. If you ask me, they paid for everything. Maybe what they did get was a studio for filming? Best case scenario? I don't know. I don't even think that... I really think they were asked to produce everything. And why wouldn't they? I mean, it's World of Wonder. They don't get the benefit of the doubt. Blake, I've had Lala's song since it came out, and I know every single word. When that reunion came on, I was lip syncing for my. I'm sorry. One of us is stroking, possibly both of us. And Blaze, I liked Elliot, but I have a soft spot for her. Coffee, like who told Utica she could only afford a costume, some lightning, and strings? I have to watch those videos. Michelle, okay, Hannes, it's 2:24 a.m. I'm gonna say good night or good morning. Bye, Michelle. We are on the same time zone. Fantasia, yes, living the NSYNC fantasy. Oh, for Joey J. Carrie, happy Lala won Miss Congeniality, and 3 of the top 4 said they were happy they were heard. Yeah, let's not forget that the prize for Miss Congeniality was sponsored by something that I cannot remember. Carrie, free Utica! Fantasia, Utica still stuck on those strings. John Young, can we talk about how Ru looks sedated whenever the camera panned on him? I cannot stop thinking about that nose contour. She was really serving Michael Jackson realness. My God, Raven. I don't know. She is. That's not my job, but she looks like a very good makeup artist, but she doesn't seem versatile enough. I don't know. I almost never like RuPaul's mug on Drag Race. It's always the same thing, always the same face, never something, something new, different colors, different contours. I don't know. I don't like it. It works great on Raven. Raven looks amazing, but the same mug doesn't look that good on RuPaul. Jules, we were there when you watched the reunion and you checked out after Tamisha Iman. Yes. Yes, I did. Fantasia, Tamisha danced more than RuPaul. Oh my god. You know that old Disney movie with Mickey Mouse where you have all the rooms dancing to classical music? That's what I was thinking. When I saw RuPaul lip syncing on stage. Jules, Olivia is pressed she didn't win Miss Congeniality. I am guessing. Oh, of course. Okay. Jules, oh no, Phoenix. So many people said it, but it went nowhere. And I was like, that's the point. She feels trapped by the bullshit the show did to her. Well, I don't know, Olivia, it's really difficult. For me, it's really difficult. I cannot get a clear image. You know, a lot of people say, oh, she was shady, she was shady. And while watching the show, you know, while being in that fantasy, I was totally sold on it, you know. But then coming out of it and bringing it in real life, I would say, well, I don't know. Maybe she is that kind of shady queen, and she really was from the beginning. But for shits and gags, they decided to create this kind of evolution for her. You know, and we don't really know everything that goes around it. So I don't know. It's really difficult for me. But time will tell, that is for sure. Time will tell. Blazing Bard, I would have preferred Lala too. Olivia is the biggest question mark for me this season. Yes, I mean, she is promising. She is not doing drag for that much, so she is promising. But to me, you know, she just looked more personable, more able to laugh at herself, you know, more, you know, honest. She looked more honest. Jules, Lala Ree won Miss Congeniality because the queens voted, including the pork chopped queens. This is fair and correct. I agree. I prefer when the queens votes. Because they know the full stories. They know the full stories. And think about it. At least give them this Miss Congeniality award. Because we as fans vote for them. We bring them an audience. We bring them advertisement. We bring them direct support. We buy their merch. We have many ways to actually choose which queens we like the most. But the Miss Congeniality, it's fair and square that it's voted by the queens of the show on the show. That's something that I do appreciate. That was a great change that they brought to the show that it worked 100% for me. Luna, I think RuPaul doesn't like versatility. The goddess not only accepts versatility, but she actively encourages it. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you will know in 2 to 3 weeks when I manage to get that damn video out. Blake, I was yelling, come on, Charlie, at my TV every second Ru was performing in the finale. I'm going to include it in the video. I'm writing it down because it was your idea. I will actually put it in the video. If somebody else doesn't beat me to it, but I will do it anyway. Jules, the Disney movie, it's called Fantasia. Yes, it's Fantasia. It's Fantasia. Luna, don't you think that the signs that the audience had were a little too pretty? Yes, suspiciously pretty. Suspiciously. I didn't want to be too negative about it. But I noticed that as well. At least raises a question mark. Like, were they sponsored by Bubbly Bounce Sparkling Water as well? You never know. You never know. We might never know. Phoenix, I meant it about Utika's video. Oh, wait a moment. Did I fuck up the chat? Looks like. Oh, yes, you were talking about Trapped in the Bullshit. Yes, but I haven't seen it. I have to seen it. I have to seen it. Blake, I almost wish Olivia got sent home on Snatch Game, staying longer. She just guzzled out, and I adore her, but it was bottom 3 after bottom 3 I couldn't watch. Well, they really pushed her. They really pushed her character. And mind you, I'm using the word character. They really pushed her character so long in the competition, and it really went nowhere. It really went nowhere. And they realized that it went nowhere because in editing, they created this storyline of the sweet queens who suddenly turns like a shady bitch. And they realized they fucked up during production. And they had to, of course, in my opinion, again, and of course they had to course correct in editing. This season was a shit show. And I mean it. Dixie, I agree. I really don't find anything special in RuPaul's mug either, and occasionally I'm excited by a wig. Yes. It's not Matthew. Matthew did incredible things. Incredible things. Blazing, I think the last Ru look that I absolutely loved was the neon one in season 7 when she had the dress with herself on it. Yes, that was Matthew again. I think it was still Matthew. Yes, it was still Matthew. It stayed until I think the first or second episode of season 9. Fantasia, we love all the queens that aren't actively, that don't actively cause problems on purpose. You couldn't have said it better. You couldn't have said it better. Unless it's part of their brand. You know, they stir shit. Like Willem, for example. Or Gia Gunn, for example. You know, that's just their brand. They are pushing a brand, they're pushing a persona, and that is another thing. So I also have an appreciation for that kind. Doesn't matter. What I don't like is people that fuck other people over behind the scenes and then claim that they are the victims. And every references is purely coincidental. Blazing, Stan Matthew, always Stan Matthew. Incredible makeup artist, incredible looks, incredible concept. I mean, even if you don't have the time, there are compilations of Ru's looks, of Ru's runways from the very first season. Look at that. I mean, give it a pass for season 2, maybe even season 3. It was the very beginning. Concepts were not really there. There was not that much money going around. But look at season 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at the concept. It was incredible. Anonymity said, I think Ru looked fabulous. She knows what she works and keep on it. Thank goodness she isn't doing 1980s makeup with her eyebrows. Well, at the time she did her makeup, and let's be real. RuPaul is an incredibly smart and ruthless businessman, but she is no makeup artist. No. Blazing Bard, let's mash up Matthew Anderson and Gigi's mom and get the perfect drag queen. Jules, Tina Burner is a shit stirrer. I didn't hear anything from outside of the show from Tina. Maybe I'm losing some things. You know that I am not that active on social media. I mostly rely to things that are posted by other people. Could be. I could see that. Blazing Bar, Gia is everything. Oh, yes. Yes. You know, I feel sorry for the way she treated Farrah Moan, because Farrah was not in the mindset where she understood what was going on. So You know, she went to therapy, she had a ton of other things, production fucked her up and so on. And she actually commented on the video saying, you know, Gia was nasty, Gia was this, Gia was that. But I don't think it was visceral from Gia. She was like, I'm here to stir the pot. I'm here to stir some shit. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm required to do. And I'm going with it and I'm owning it. I don't think she really got that. But at least this is what I think. Luna, I feel like Drag Race is the only reality TV show that I can think of where the audience takes the things too seriously. And that makes it less enjoyable as TV. Well, you opened a Pandora's box. There are reasons for that also depend on the kind of audience that the show is getting and the kind of message that the show is trying to send, and the fact that they are not clear about how everything is edited, how everything is for entertainment. You know, even I am a nobody with a channel. But nevertheless, when I do my reviews, I always put a disclaimer and say, listen, don't take it too seriously. This is for entertainment purposes, which means listen to it, be entertained, get new ideas, but do your research by yourself before you make up an opinion. You know, it's not difficult to make a disclaimer and put it on the show. It's a mixture of things that creates the problem. I think that it would be unfair to just point at the audience and say, oh, it's 100% their fault, because it's just part of the story. It's just part. As much as I despise when people, you know, say horrible things to other people online, especially drag queens, because being on this show gives them so much visibility that you don't get one of those people. You get them in the hundreds. So I still despise that. But I would be more careful before saying, oh, whatever, everything that happens is our fault, it's the audience's fault. No, it's not. It's not. Dixie Matthew really understood old school drag. Absolutely. And he was very talented. He was very talented. Jules, some of her tweets were mean, talking about Tina. Gia is hilarious and played the game. Farah was caught in the crossfire. Yes, you see, you said, I wish I had that that ability to talk like that. Yes, but yeah, she was caught in the crossfire. Blazing Bard, what was going on with Farah is pretty sad. She seems like a queen who also maybe spoke out too much. She did speak out too much. She continued to speak out too much. I mean, I was very happy when I found, we have a video about her. And she commented on that and she spilled a ton of tea on it. And I was happy about that. But that also told me that, she was, it was hard on her. It was really hard, the fact that she tried to convince her to go with the edit, that they couldn't take out the fall, even though she filmed 2 times and she didn't fall both times. And, it was shitty. It was really shitty. Especially when you are dealing with someone like Farah Moan, which to me, I don't know if it's my personal impression, but she doesn't seem to be very aware of the kind of shit that goes around the business that she went in, not because she is stupid, she just looks naive, and didn't really understand the shit that was going on, and she couldn't really defend herself from all the shit that was going on. I mean, I believe her when she said it was traumatic for me. I needed to go to therapy. I mean, when something is your life and it's your career and you invest money on it and then you get fucked over in ways that you cannot even imagine, I bet it's fucking traumatic. I bet it is. Coffee, disclaimer, the following content is metallic. Metallic. Yeah. Phoenix, I hope Utica will come out on top, stronger than before. I hope as well. Jules, if they are screening the Drag Race Down Under in New Zealand television at 6 p.m. on Saturday nights, then their demographic is clearly changing to younger audiences and families. Yes, 6 p.m. is definitely family time. It's definitely family time. Oh my god. Jasmine was right. Jasmine was right. Fantasia, Groover, we can talk about those mind games all day. Yes. Dixie, I'm hearing all of those rumors of hate towards Tina, and I don't have any idea where they're coming from. But I stay away from the negativity of Twitter. Oh, well, a lot of people call Twitter the Twitterati. With good reason. I mean, when Twitter decides to come for you, they come for you. And trust me, you will lose your job. Groover, very random, but there is a cow character in the Disney universe called Clara Bell. I wonder if Utica got the name from her. Could be. It could be. Also, Clara is a very common name for a cow. I think maybe because of that. Fantasia, RuPaul's Drag Race should definitely take a lot of ideas from The Circle. That's a show that I don't know. So I take your word for it. Felicia, I think people mistake an opinion for expressing hate. I recently experienced someone interpreting my opinion as hate. Oh, yes. I mean, this is the culture we live in. People will project on you whatever it's convenient to them to make them feel better about themselves or to push their agenda or whatever the fuck it is. You know, nobody gives the benefit of the doubt to anyone. That's the internet culture that we have, and that's why I'm so proud that we have a space for ourselves here on the channel, mostly on Discord, to come out and say, listen, this is shit, you know, and everybody will absolutely get that, okay, yeah, this is shit, that's it. It ends there. Nobody's attacking anyone, nobody's hating anyone, you know, but the culture in general, it is the way it is. What can you do? What can you do? Best you can do is create a space and try to expand it as much as you can. Try to embed the message in the people. That's why I repeat myself so many times on so many things. I am a broken record, I know. But for every new person that comes, it's worth it that they get the message. And the more it spreads, the more people will start spreading it, and the more things will start changing. You cannot just stay silent on everything. Groover says, these mind games are crazy. T was right all along, and S is suck a liar. Are we still talking about The Circle? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm starting to get... Jules, I was called a hater because I didn't live for RuPaul's song and dance in the finale. I just said it wasn't a treat for me. Oh, yeah. Listen. People will come for you for the sake of coming for you. And that's it. That's how it is. Which, of course, trivializes all the time. People should come for other people and nothing happens. So, that's basically how it is. Okay, guys. It's almost 3 in the morning. I am checking out. I am tired. I'm destroyed. I cannot continue, plain and simple. But thank you all for coming. The stream will be back with All Stars, The Chop. I don't know when All Stars is supposed to come, so I have no idea. But if we are going more than, let's say, 2 weeks without a stream, we will have a stream anyway. I don't know about what it is, but it keeps my sanity intact. So we will have a stream anyway. As usual, I will send messages about it on Discord, Twitter, community section of YouTube, everything, you know, everything. But remember, if you want to join us on Thursday on Discord, we are there. If you have any question, just ask on the Discord. I can guarantee you somebody will answer you. You know, it's a mutual help kind of place. No, I don't want to say it like that. Sounds like we are all substance abuser of some kind. Even though the show is addictive, but it is how it is. Nevertheless, see you on Thursday, if you will, or as soon as possible back here on stream and for the new videos that will come out for the channel. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for the company, and I will see you soon. Meanwhile, have a great week and a good night. Bye-bye, guys.